gathered there combing through evidence. Alfara Mushwana has more.
When EWN arrived at the scene just after midnight, a grey Suzuki Baleno, believed to belong to Khan, was found idling with its lights still on. 2 cartridges were visible next to the vehicle, with SAPS ballistics analysts placing yellow markers beside them. Police vehicles filled the affluent suburb, while some residents watched from their windows, trying to make sense of the gunfire. Khan's uncle, Pregi Periachi, spoke to the media outside the Mill Park Hospital, where his nephew is admitted.
It's part of life, eh?
Yeah.
We have to see what happens from there.
Does the family want justice?
Yes, most definitely. Yeah. Whoever did it must pay for it.
Yeah. How's Khan feeling?
No idea. I haven't checked it. Yeah, I'm going out.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
Khan is meant to testify at the Madlanga Commission on Wednesday about several allegations of corruption. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News in Houghton.
The Johannesburg Metro Police Department says officers will be deployed across parts of Soweto this morning to monitor spontaneous marches, but JMPD says no formal applications have been submitted in terms of the Regulation of Gatherings Act. JMPD spokesperson Xolani Fihla says road users should prepare to use alternative routes.
To motorists, please anticipate delays, heavy law enforcement presence, and the potential localized diversions around Zondi, Jabulani and surrounding arterial routes tomorrow morning. If possible, please plan your trips early or utilize alternative routes to avoid frustration.
The Malawian government says no transport has yet been secured to repatriate its nationals in Johannesburg. The Malawian Consulate General has confirmed there's currently no plan to transport the nearly 400 people who've been camping outside its Sandton offices, and this was since Saturday, seeking assistance to return home. Malawian citizens say they want to leave South Africa ahead of tomorrow's protests against undocumented foreign nationals. Mongezi Koko reports.
After hours of waiting outside the consulate yesterday, many Malawian nationals left without the answers they had hoped for. The consulate has told Eyewitness News that no buses have been secured to transport those in Johannesburg and that there is currently no repatriation plan in place for them. This despite hundreds arriving with their belongings, hoping to join the thousands of Malawian nationals who have already returned home in recent days amid growing tensions linked to the 30 June anti-illegal immigration protests. For now, hundreds remain in limbo as they wait for clarity on when or how they'll return to Lilongwe. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News, Sandton.
And Canada has defeated South Africa in the first match of the knockout rounds at the FIFA World Cup. Canada has broken Bafana's hearts when the co-hosts scored a goal with the game ending 1-0. Both sides made their first ever appearance at this stage of the World Cup. South Africa made history last week when they advanced to the knockout stages after beating South Korea 1-0. Coach Hugo Bruce says he's proud of his team.
We are disappointed, but we wanted to win, and it should be really a little miracle if we should have been in the third round. But we don't have to be too much disappointed again. What we did was good, and I'm very happy. I'm very proud of my team.
Cindy Paluta will have more in the Sports Bulletin. Gold is trading at $4,090, 26 cents an ounce. The rand is at $16.99 to the dollar, $22.42 to the pound, $19.34 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $72.45 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident in Roodepoort. This one is on the N1 North. It happened after 14th Avenue. It's causing delays. There's also queuing traffic reported on the Mike 1 North between Boysons Road and Carr Street.
And in your sport, Bafana out the FIFA World Cup. Eustáquio breaking South African hearts with a winning goal for Canada in the 92nd minute. But the Proteas women keep the country flag flying. They've booked their place in the T20 Cricket World Cup semi-finals. And George Russell wins the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of Verstappen and Antonelli.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg starting at 5 degrees, peaking at 20. Pretoria 7 and 22. Vereeniging 4 and 21. The breaking story in EWN this hour. Suspended Deputy Crime Intelligence boss Firoz Khan has allegedly been shot.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie, walk the talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Six minutes after 6 o'clock, and yes, I was getting myself ready there, stealing my voice, stealing the spine, because here we are. I don't know if I'm crushed entirely. There is a sense that we did something no other team from South Africa has ever done before at a World Cup. But there's also the disappointment of expectation. Cindy Paluta always says it's the hope that kills you. Having played as spectacularly as we did against the South Koreans, and far be it from me again to criticize a team that has done so remarkably well, right? I don't want to, but Amo? Muteo?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Aren't you feeling just
Football.
Hey?
Yeah, exactly.
Amo just took a breath.
Do you remember when Banyana beat Italy to reach the next round? I think they set a new level for themselves, and this is Bafana's new level. Now they have to go over the round of 32 into the round of 16. I think we had a team yesterday that looked like it didn't get off the bus. They weren't quite there like they were against South Korea, and we just didn't have the answers.
And it was in the middle that it was lost.
It definitely was in the middle. We couldn't control the ball there, which means we couldn't go forward. We were always under pressure. So as much as they tried, Sotole and Debza yesterday just couldn't get a grab onto that midfield, and that's where I think we lost it.
Let's hear from the captain.
Bronwyn, not the results we were hoping for, but how proud of you the display of the guys are you?
Yeah, so proud of the boys. We show our quality, and we wanted to come here and compete. We can live here with our heads high. Proud of the boys, the effort, the fight, the character, the mindset, keep fighting. We didn't have the best start to the tournament. Our backs were against the wall. But to come out here today and show up and show our work, can only be proud. It's a very young team. This is good lessons for them now, going into the future, but we can be proud.
Coach Hugo's last match with Bafana and the last match of his coaching career. Sum it up for us, what he means to the team.
Yeah, it's sad that we go out like this, but I know he will be proud. He saw his team competing, the resilience, the belief. That's what he has instilled in us since day one, was that belief. Even when we had so much doubters, he always believed in us. So what he's done for South African football, we can only thank him for giving us that belief, the hope. He inspired a nation. If this is his last, he can go with his head high. Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Held high or dejected like some of the players after the game yesterday. Talent Mbata is on the front page of The Citizen, and he just looks absolutely crushed. If you watch the game, let us know your review. Let's look back on Bafana at this World Cup. Much to be proud of, or do you say, yeah?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
9 after 6 on our menu today. What do you do? How do you respond? Your employer legally obliges you to perform certain duties that you think are against your moral code, your moral core. Do you leave the job? Do you impose your morality on what it is you are supposed to do? We're speaking to Section 27 as hundreds of women around the country find themselves unable to access abortion services at public clinics because some of the nurses says it offends their religious convictions. What to do? And of course, apprehension, anxiety about what happens tomorrow. We'll speak to the chairperson of the National Joint Operation and Intelligence Structure, otherwise known as NAT Joints. Lieutenant General Tibelo Musikili will be joining us for that conversation. And then just before 9, we speak to the great Don Laka.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
10 minutes after 6, we've had to wake him up, I'm afraid. He broke the story last night. The suspended Deputy Crime Intelligence boss, Feroz Khan, allegedly shot. This was, of course, just as he was expected to appear at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. It's understood he is at the Mill Park Hospital now. In what state, we are not yet sure. Alpha Ramashwana, our EWN reporter, on the line, joining us. Alpha, thank you so much, firstly, for getting up for us. This attack is understood happened around his Houghton home late last night?
Yes, good morning, Bongani. It happened just after Bafana Bafana's match with Canada. I think I was watching the match when I received the information that Feroz Khan had been shot, and I rushed to Houghton, and of course I found his vehicle parked just a few meters away from where Khan lives, and with people on the ground confirming that it is indeed Major General Feroz Khan who had been shot. So it happened just really, really close to where he stays.
Do we have any idea if he sustained any injuries, in what state he might be?
Yes, so the South African Police Service hasn't said much, Bongani, but from the information that I've managed to collect, he was shot 2 times and sustained injuries to his lower body. We do know that he is in a critical state, according to the people who informed us about his shooting. Late last night, after going to the scene of the shooting, we also visited the hospital, the Mill Park Hospital, that is, and we managed to catch a conversation with his family. And some of them seemed a bit worried, saying that they were not expecting him to be shot. And his lawyers also at the hospital saying that Feroz Khan seems to be really, really injured. So from what they're saying, he is in a critical state at this moment.
Was he alone? Would he not have had protection with him?
No, not at all. He was alone. He was driving a silver Suzuki Baleno just close to his home. So he did not have his weapon at all. He did not have protection. He didn't have anyone with him, his family at all. It was just Feroz Khan on the scene of that shooting.
So we've seen, of course, a number of staged incidents, and there'll be certainly questions around how somebody so high profile at such a critical time could have found himself in this situation without any protection, without a weapon on his person. Some questions certainly will be raised about this.
Yeah, we've seen similar quote-unquote attacks over the past few months. And the South African Police Service, in fact, has just released a statement saying that it would be premature to conclude that this is linked to his upcoming appearance at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. They've now also roped in the Political Killings Task Team to help with investigations. But, Brown Mukhotsi as well, in October last year, if I'm correct, had a shooting of his own, and a few months later, the police were able to reveal that that was indeed a staged shooting, given that there were so many red flags with that one. So we're yet to hear from police if they believe this shooting was real. There are allegations that it could be linked to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry and the fact that he's meant to testify this coming Wednesday. We do know that Feroz Khan has been sent to corruption allegations, criminal interference, and allegedly protecting certain drug cartels. And so he does have a lot to answer for at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. His devices as well, which he had been refusing to open for the court or the NPA to go through. So it's unclear at this stage if it is indeed linked to that Commission of Inquiry. But we did go to the hospital yesterday. We did see his family. We did see the ambulance dropping him off as well.
I appreciate your time, Alpha Ramashwana, EWN reporter, on that story late last night. The news broke that the crime intelligence boss, Feroz Khan, had been shot. He, of course, was due to testify at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. He's facing a number of allegations, including that he allegedly shared sensitive intelligence with the EFF leader, Julius Malema, to receive political protection. He was also arrested in May last year for the unlawful possession of unprocessed precious metals and has been facing internal scrutiny for allegedly defeating the ends of justice and interfering in a major drug bust. And alone on a Sunday night in the late hours, just close to his home with no other protectors, not even a weapon on his person. He was shot in this way. That's the latest we can confirm, but certainly questions may continue on this.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
It's a 6:15. Mateo Kharipa, you've got a question of your own?
Yeah, I want to know this morning, are you honest when things aren't going your way? Are you the type of person to stick with the first plan you had, or are you humble enough to say, I think I need to start over, I need to redo things?
Ooh, okay. Honest is one thing. Honest with whom? With self?
With yourself, yeah.
With
things
yourself.
aren't going well, to say whatever plan I had is not working out. I now need to go back to the drawing board. Do you easily go back to the drawing board, or are you the type of person to try and see a plan through no matter what?
It depends. I think there's always that feeling if you quit too soon, because everybody wants to believe, I'm not a quitter, right? And if you do quit before you are ready, you always have that sense, what if I just,
pushed?
Yeah, what if I had clung to this thing just a little longer? So it's always a really difficult decision to make, depending, of course, on what we're talking about.
Amu, plan B?
I'm easy to take on plan B, but sometimes my willingness to take on plan B depends on my other half, who is my husband, and of course the kids and the plans around, everybody else.
Yeah, what does that plan B mean for everyone else?
Yeah, so it can be easy for me to be like, okay, plan B is the next, but actually it doesn't fit my role at home.
Okay, so depending on, that's also interesting because you also think about the impact on the people
the
around
dynamics
you,
of it,
right? So
yeah.
that's also interesting. All right,
Tell
so
you why.
ditch plan A as quickly as things appear to be going wrong and go to plan B, or do you stick with it no matter what and then regret? What do you do?
702.
Weather.
6:17. This EWN weather brought to you by Samsung Air Conditioners. Stay warm your way. A fine day in store for Gauteng. Joburg maxing at 20 degrees. Pretoria 22. Vereeniging 21. Bombela all the way to 27. Hey, so nice and warm there in Mpumalanga. Polokwane 23 degrees. Mahikeng 22. Bloemfontein 19. Durban 26. Gqeberha a miserable 16 degrees. Kugombo City, still call it East London. Emonti, 19.
Is it warm or is it cold? When the weather's unpredictable, we have a solution you can count on. Samsung air conditioners bring you efficient heating, ensuring family-friendly comfort indoors. Get tailored comfort for every weather forecast. Don't just stay warm your way this winter. Shop for your perfect fit at Samsung stores, participating retailers, or speak to a friendly installer today.
EWN Traffic.
6:18. Let's have a first look at the roads now. Amma, what are you seeing on a Monday morning?
Well, Bongani, we do have an accident on the N1 North. It happened right near 14th Avenue. It's causing delays. This is in the Roadport area. Please be on the lookout there and approach you with care. While traveling on the Mike 1 North, we've got delays between the Boysons Road exit and Car Street. While traveling in Soweto, we've got an accident reported. This one is along Klipspruit Valley Road. It happened near Mathlow Street. It's slowing down traffic heading towards the Soweto Highway Circle. So please be on the lookout there. I'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
When you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Nedbank is more than just a bank. We're a growth partner because we understand that real success happens when you're looking ahead, spotting opportunities others miss, and planning for tomorrow, today. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank. We're licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Breaking news. Motorists are bracing themselves for even more fuel price hikes in June.
Or prepare differently. BYD hybrid vehicles use up to 70% less fuel than normal cars. And BYD fully electric vehicles, no fuel at all. Test drive the brand new BYD Atto 2 DMI plug-in hybrid this June and kiss rising fuel prices goodbye forever. Visit byd.coza or your nearest dealership. BYD, build your dreams.
The pain of losing a loved one is never easy. It will leave you feeling overwhelmed. At Clientele, we understand that burying loved ones with dignity truly matters. Our funeral plans pay out cash within just 24 hours, and you receive 200 Rand airtime when you claim to make those important calls. Plus, we cover up to 13 people on one plan. SMS funeral to 31586. That's 31586. Clientele Life is an authorized FSP and licensed life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
702 and the Dis-Chem Foundation are shining the spotlight on the health matters you want to know more about. Here's what we explored this month.
An estimated 10 million tons of food is wasted annually while families are going hungry. That's the hard fact. The Dis-Chem Foundation, what we do is we provide nutritious meals to vulnerable children. We were able to provide 3.6 million nutritious meals to ECDs around the country annually. And it sounds like a lot, but it's really a drop in the ocean. We do food gardens. We are now going out with our hydroponic gardens. So we're going out and we're teaching sustainable food solutions.
In Conversation on Afternoon Drive with John Perlman. Brought to you by the Dis-Chem Foundation, caring for the community on 702.
702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
Hey, Mr. Bingwa. No, man. Bafana played their best. I would like to congratulate them again for making it to the top 32. Let's show our boys support. And please, if you can, please try and play the song. Thank you for supporting Bafana. This is Khozo from Spreadview. Thank you.
Bongani, I agree with you. Losing to Canada at football is like losing to Japan at cricket.
Ooh, okay. Perhaps let's give one more word to this. We're reacting, of course, if you've just joined us, to Bafana's loss and therefore exit from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Here's a quote. Listen to this. First of all, credit to South Africa. They gave everything and fought until the very end. But football won today because only one team came onto the pitch with the intention of playing, attacking and trying to win the game. The other side seemed more focused on defending than creating chances or taking risks. And there's nothing wrong with being organized defensively, but at some point you have to show ambition and try to score. For me, this was one of the least entertaining matches of the tournament. We've seen similar complaints before when teams rely almost entirely on defensive tactics. It may help you survive for a while, but it doesn't make for great football. Canada deserved this victory, and they won it right away. They tried to play, they pushed forward, they looked for solutions throughout the match. In the end, the better team won because they showed more courage, more intent, and a greater desire to play football. The words there of the Vavavoom. Thierry Henry is how he reviewed that game.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
23 minutes after 6 o'clock. As you heard in Eyewitness News, Senior Crime Intelligence Officer Feroz Khan has reportedly been shot in Johannesburg, an incident that is believed to have taken place just before midnight last night. His condition and circumstances, and the circumstances around the shooting remain a little unclear. It's understood he's in a critical condition in hospital. Of course, it also comes just days before he was meant to testify before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. And so there'll be questions raised about all of this until all the details can be confirmed. So as you are lying there in your bed or even in your car, here's a question. When was the last time you picked up your phone? Mutel?
Picked up my phone?
Looked at it. When last did you look at your phone?
Like 5 minutes ago.
Amo?
Just now.
Just now. A UK man says his screen time can reach up to 14 hours a day and is now in therapy trying to break what he describes as a compulsive relationship with his device. He says it feels like carrying your own drug dealer in your pocket. And a recent Deloitte survey found around 1,000 adults, found that 70% of respondents believed they spend too much time on their phones. At the same time, a growing number of academics are warning that smartphones may be changing how the brain responds to reward and attention. And phone addiction isn't yet recognized as a medical condition, but therapists are saying more and more people are seeking help for compulsive phone use. Is it a constant pool of messages, social media, notifications? Do you know somebody who probably needs help because their phone is just something they can't resist? I was at the theater yesterday, and they'll kill me if they can hear me. I was sitting in the middle of two people whom I know well, and at different times, I had to tap both of them because their instinct was to pick up the phone. And I knew there was nothing on the phone that needed their attention at that moment. We're in the middle of the most searing, moving theater piece. And I had to go, little tap on their phone. Could that be you? Oi, oi, oi. You think Donald Trump has done it, and then he does something else again. So, to celebrate America's 250th anniversary since independence, the US has issued new special edition passports which feature the face of the President of the United States. But guess what else the passports say? They say, welcome, but be good. US passports issued to US citizens with Trump's face saying, welcome, but be good. Does Trump know how a passport works? Because you give it to your own people to travel elsewhere. You don't give your citizen a passport that says welcome when he or she is going elsewhere. I think he thought the passports would be for people coming into the States. It just goes to show you how much madness there is around Trump, that even on something so obviously stupid, nobody says, no, sir, we can't do that. The score was 5-2. 1958, a legend was born. On this day, Brazil claimed its first ever FIFA World Cup, defeating hosts Sweden. Leading the charge was 117-year-old Pelé, whose unforgettable performance helped shape Brazil's football identity and inspired generations to come.
702.
The newspapers.
Sviso Zulu, let's look at the newspapers locally. As I said earlier, the front page of The Citizen, a dejected Tabang Talendembata rather, and Tsepang Muremi after that defeat from Canada. But the big story in The Citizen is deadline tension grows. This is ahead of the planned demonstrations tomorrow. The Business Day says this is all going to hurt our reputation on the continent. Afrophobia puts ANC legacy at risk, says the front page of the Business Day. The Sowetan, June 30, panic sets in. What you got?
Big story abroad, Bongani. Europe's brutal heatwave is now being linked to more than 1,300 deaths. And this is according to the WHO, the World Health Organization. Germany just yesterday hit an all-time record of 41.7 degrees. And this is for the third consecutive day. France alone has recorded 1,000 more fatalities than usual since Wednesday, mostly among the elderly. And the WHO is basically saying a lot of people are dying from heat stress, and it's literally calling this a silent killer. And people are also drowning in open waters where they're not regulated, trying to keep warm, but they jump in those waters and they die. It's a big story that continues to happen in Europe.
Yeah, we've been watching it, and who knows what our summer is going to look like.
EWN Business.
Business News 29 after 6. Mateo wants to know, how do you deal with your plans when they don't seem to be working out? Do you ditch plan A to go quickly to plan B and C and D? Or do you try and stick with it no matter what because you don't want to be a quitter? What prompts that question?
Bongani, the brand popularly known as the people's car maker Volkswagen is taking drastic steps to try and claw back dominance in the car market. Volkswagen plans to cut up to 100,000 jobs and end production at 4 plants in Germany in a significant acceleration of its cost-cutting plans as Europe's largest car maker seeks to counter the rapid advance of Chinese rivals. The job cuts would mean the removal of 1 in 6 of the company's roughly 625,000 roles worldwide, making it one of the biggest job-cutting programs this year. Now, the restructuring measures come on the heels of the big sale of its marine engines to Bain for 138 billion rand. Chief Executive Oliver Bloom has sought to streamline the sprawling group to focus on its core automotive business and is expected to sell more assets to raise cash as the car maker comes under pressure. Now, in April, the car maker said it had made 2 million global deliveries after 3 months. This was down 4% from 2025. In our market, Chinese auto manufacturers are reshaping the South African automotive landscape. Chery Group, utilizing its collective sub-brands of Chery, Omoda, JQ, and Jator, has officially overtaken Volkswagen in monthly vehicle sales to become the third best-selling automaker in South Africa, trailing only Toyota and Suzuki. In January, Chery sold 5,221 vehicles. This was more than VW's 4,774. So the company at the moment, mass cutting of jobs, trying to make as much cash as possible to try and turn things around.
All right, where's the rand?
16 rand 47 against the US dollar, 18 rand 74 against the euro, 21 rand 72 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,064 an ounce, or platinum is up 0.5% this morning, $1,622. Brent crude at $72 a barrel. More business after 7.
Time now for your latest eyewitness news. Straight to the news desk we go. Sfiso, what do you have at this hour?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The Gauteng Education Department says corruption in some public schools is denying pupils basics, including food, textbooks, and furniture. An internal assessment has revealed allegations of theft involving school nutrition, groceries, stationery, building materials, and other essentials. It's emerged that some schools may have been operating hidden financial streams by failing to declare money received from venue hire, donations, and other sources. Education MEC Lebogang Maile says this is concerning.
Groceries meant for National School Nutrition Program, which benefits 1.6 million learners, are allegedly stolen. This theft and misappropriation are not victimless, as the consequences are immediate.
The South African Local Government Association says the Transport Department has not provided any certainty on the funding model to implement ARTO. SALGA has approached the High Court in Pretoria to interdict Phase 2 of the Administrative Adjudication of Road Traffic Offences Act rollout. The Act aims to centralise traffic fine management, shifting violations from courts to administrative processes. SALGA Sebakang Motlabi says the current ARTO regulations place an additional financial burden on municipalities.
And we did not only take the approach of the courts. What we have done as well, we have launched what we call intergovernmental relations dispute, where we are saying we have tried at the level best that we could as an association to speak with the department. We are therefore lodging this dispute and request that those who are responsible to resolve this dispute can come on board to sit us down and resolve this dispute.
He says SALGA is ready to work with both provincial government and national to resolve the matter.
So we are doing all of these things in good faith on the basis that we are the vanguards of the local government, and we've got the responsibility to safeguard the interest of the local government on the basis that their core mandate, as the Constitution provides, ought not to be disrupted by unfunded mandates that are going to be forcefully relegated or delegated to local government.
And more than 2,000 undocumented Zimbabwean nationals have spent the weekend at Home Affairs Department's Repatriation Centre in Cape Town. They were transported by the city of Cape Town to the centre after spending several nights on the pavement outside the Zimbabwean consulate. Gift of the Givers Ali Sable says there's frustration because the Zimbabweans had been under the impression that the repatriation centre would issue them with travel documents.
Now we're sitting with a bigger dilemma. The people who are here, once they are done being processed, where do they go to from here? Home Affairs do not have the capacity or do not have the mandate to accommodate these people. The Zimbabwean consulate is trying to get an accommodation that can accommodate 2,000 people, as Home Affairs has made it clear that they have already have bookings of close to 800 people tomorrow on Monday morning.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 4 and 5 degrees, peaking at highs between 20 and 22.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident on the N1 North. It happened right near 14th Avenue. It's causing heavy traffic volumes. This is just as you come out of Albertina Sisulu Road. There's also queuing traffic reported on the Mike 1 North between Boysons Road and Carr Street.
The top story this hour, the Gauteng Education Department says corruption in some public schools is denying pupils basics, including food, textbooks and furniture.
Gabelo's the go-to guy for renovations. His bakkie is full of tools, ready to build dreams. But one day, a reckless driver takes him out. Now, his backie's standing still. No wheels, no money, Kabza. Oh. But with budget, he'd be back on site faster than you can say DIY. Don't let expensive days stop your hustle. Visit budgetinsurance.co.za for a business insurance quote today. Budget is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
When you're walking, 702 Josie My Josie, walk the talk on Sunday, 26 July. Keep your eyes open because Mazda is bringing wonder to the 8-kilometer route. There'll be 5 Mazda Wonder experiences, including a piano performance, a world of color, a bubble field, a Japanese garden, and the Mazda Wonder Hub. Visit one of the 5, then capture and share your wonder moment on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Tag and follow at Mazda SA using hashtag Mazda SA, and you could win your share of 50,000 Rand. Mazda, where wonder awaits. T's and C's apply.
At the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, snap and share all 5 Mazda Wonder experiences using hashtag Mazda SA to stand a chance to win a share of 50,000 Rand.
Do you dream of inspiring young minds as a qualified teacher? Whether you're just starting your journey, looking to advance your career, or are already a teacher wanting to upgrade your qualifications, SANS can help. As a registered private higher education institution, SANS offers accredited, affordable distance teaching qualifications with full support every step of the way. Visit sans.co.za today and take your first step towards becoming a teacher.
Coming up the next hour, What's the Question? Is brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. All you need to do is send us an answer based on something you heard on the show that piqued your interest. For that, you win $1,000. You simply WhatsApp us your name and the answer to 072 702 1702. Then later, someone else will ask a question to get your answer to win 2,000 Rand. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Bongani, man. The issue of General Khan is because they've already seen his submissions to the Matlanga Commission and to what he's going to talk about. And obviously, he's a key cog of drug cartels and everything else related. So those guys, obviously, they know he might actually fold under cross-examination. So what is the best thing they do? Sorry, General, we're going to shoot you once or twice. You'll be fine, but you'll survive. But one thing you're not going to show, you're not going to go to that commission.
Well, I mean, as you've seen before, when witnesses were unable to attend, evidence has been led anyway. Yeah, questions may remain, but some of the things they say in their written statements go onto the record and then are investigated. Lots of questions will be asked about this, whether it could be a staged thing or whether, as I think it's Kustas who just spoke there, it was because he was being targeted, not to eliminate him, but to keep him silent. How do you dice it?
Morning, Bongani and team. Amid all of this June 30 deadlines and all the marches, it's so strange that our rand has been extremely resilient. We haven't heard of any tanking. We hadn't heard of any disinvestment. So did the rand grow some muscles in the gym, or what is going on?
Look, we don't know. Nothing has actually happened, right? So we can't speculate and say, the sky is falling in. I think people are nervous. And I'd really like to know, in fact, how you are feeling and what your plans for tomorrow will be. Are you going to have a day as you would on any other Tuesday, go to work? For most people, the kids are on holiday, so that's at least an area in which our anxieties will be a little eased. The acting police minister confirming that it has to be a normal day. So, of course, the rand is going to do what it's supposed to do.
June the 30th will be a normal day. The people who want to open their businesses must be able to businesses. People who want to go to work must be able to go to work unhindered. People who are here illegally in the country must know that they will not be bullied and intimidated in our country. Genuine grievance does not make a violent remedy justified. If you take a matter up which is costly for the country, are you acting in the interest of the people of this country?
I apologize for that music in the background. They're not sure what was going on. The other thing is, how do you feel about effective communication? I've watched a number of officials, the acting police minister, I watched the Minister of Justice. They read these long statements where they're looking down the entire time, no eye contact with the camera, no eye contact with anyone in the room, and they're reading these prepared statements, and at times you wonder if even they wrote it. Whereas surely this is the time where you can put these things on auto cue and you look into the camera and you reassure South Africans that I, Minister so-and-so, responsible for this and that, will make sure you are safe. You don't read these monotonous statements that just drone on as a way of reassuring the public that everything is under control. Maybe because I'm a broadcaster, I'm asking for a little too much. I don't know.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, I quoted you earlier in the show, and I said Cindy always says it's the hope that kills you, right?
What did you think? What did you think of the performance?
Look, I think their best game will certainly always be the one against the South Koreans.
Okay.
I think that when the crunch time came, they were probably a little bit nervous and were more defensive than they should have been. I think they were probably just sort of holding out until the thing got to the penalties. And I think the Canadians read their game and pushed more forward than we did.
Yeah. So I would say that our defense worked extremely hard last night. It just felt like the defense was absolutely sublime. And then the attack, every time they got to the edge of the box, there was no trying to score. It was just passing. I'm on the edge of the box. Let me see if somebody else can score, as opposed to just having that belief in themselves and then, taking ownership. Yeah, I think, and the crowd booing every time Ronwen Williams touched the ball was quite interesting, because somebody asked me why, and I said because they kept passing the ball back and just time wasting in the back as opposed to pushing forward, and the crowd got bored, right? But it's done, and there's nothing you can do about it. Bafana are out of the World Cup. Heartbreak for them, because it was a goalless game right up until the 92nd minute when Stephen Estaque got the goal and put Canada into the last 16. Like a history for that country as well. But here's the captain, Ronwen Williams.
We wanted to come here and compete. We can live here with our heads high. Proud of the boys, the effort, the fight, the character, the mindset to keep fighting. We didn't have the best start to the tournament. Our backs were against the wall. But to come out here today and show up and show our worth, can only be proud. It's a very young team. This is good lessons for them now, going into the future, but we can be proud.
Here's Coach Hugo Bruce.
At the other side, when we look back, I think we can be very satisfied of what we did. It was 24 years ago that South Africa could qualify for World Cup. We did it. Everyone hoped, and some expected that we should achieve the second round. We did it also. Okay, we are disappointed, but we wanted to win, and it should be really a little miracle if we should have been in the third round.
Canada next plays Netherlands or Morocco in the last 16. The Proteas women are through to the T20 World Cup semi-finals. They beat Bangladesh by 4 wickets, thanks to Australia beating India by 6 wickets as well. Proteas captain Laura Wolfart on why her team struggled to chase 118 for victory.
We needed a win, and it's a bit frustrating how we got ourselves into that position. I think we won the game, we got our points. But yeah, I think maybe just a bit of a mindset thing today. I think knowing that we only needed to chase 120, maybe batted a bit within ourselves, didn't really go to our positive options early enough. And they were bowling really slow on a slowish wicket. But I think in situations like that, we got to take the braver option earlier maybe.
Proteas will play England in the semi-finals on Thursday at 7:30. England's men's captain Ben Stokes announced he'll retire after this third test with New Zealand. The teams were on the field when the media statement was released that he'd be leaving. At stumps on day 4, England 103 for 4, needing a further 270 runs to win the series. In Formula 1, George Russell won the Austrian Grand Prix to cut Kimi Antonelli's title, lead to 40 points. Antonelli finished third behind Max Verstappen. Piastri was fourth with Hamilton in fifth. Here's Russell.
Feels great. It's been a while since I sipped the champagne and had that sweetness. I'm proud of the resilience I've sort of had, and the people around me have helped me through those low moments, because it was tough. You know, when you feel like everything's going against you, performance isn't as good as you'd want. Coming back in Barcelona, having a great performance there, a bit unfortunate in the race, and then again here, I feel myself again.
And in MotoGP, Ayagura is the first Japanese rider to win a MotoGP in 22 years, with victory in the Netherlands after Betseki crashed and was taken to hospital. Brad Binder finished 11th, Jorge Martin now top of the rider standings. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
The bongs. These boys have put us on the map. We don't have to be angry. We are Africans. I love how they played football. And then Hugo, I didn't like his tactic because we were supposed to be celebrating right now. But don't worry, the bongs. This is Chile from Lufering. I love the boys. I love South Africa. I love 702. I love everything. I hate Donald Trump.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Bamise bonke.
OUTsurance knows that when it comes to insurance, trust isn't built on clever advertising and promises. It's built on how fairly an insurer pays claims. The Ombudsman, an independent body that rules on complaints, confirmed in their 2025 annual report that OUTsurance had the lowest overturned ratio of complaints received. Make sure today, make the day you switch to OUTsurance today, where you always get something out. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za today. OUTsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Have you ever heard the earth breathe? In Zambia, the mighty Musi Watunya, the smoke that thunders, rises in spectacular display at Victoria Falls. Stand in awe, feel the mist, witness one of the world's greatest natural wonders. But Zambia is more than a destination. It's untamed wildlife and people whose smiles feel like home. Zambia, let's explore. Plan your journey at www.zambia.travel.
It's your last chance to enter Nedbank Business Ignite on 702's closing entries soon. And this year, we're celebrating entrepreneurs who've turned personal challenges into businesses, making a real difference. You can go to igniteyourbusiness.co.za or primemediaplus.com to enter. 200,000 Rand and the recognition your business deserves. T's and C's apply. Nedbank, see money differently. An authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Good morning, Uncle Bongani. My name is Ntombizata. I am 13 years old and I go to Michakasi Secondary School. When I grew up, I want to be a chef and I'm very excited to play Whiz Quiz with you today.
Ready to buy your dream car, put an offer in on a new house, or take out that personal loan? Make 2026 your year with Postnet and Huru. Visit your nearest Postnet store to get a comprehensive credit report from 4 of SA's leading credit bureaus sent straight to your phone. For only 135 Rand, take charge of your future with a clear picture of your financial position and how to improve it. Why second guess your credit rating when you can be certain? Get your Huru and Kudo credit report at Postnet today. Postnet, helping you succeed.
When Joburg comes together for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk on Sunday, 26 July, FNB will also be walking with you because FNB believes that help starts on the ground with people coming together for good. So join FNB on this walk through the iconic Joburg CBD. Witness a city on the move. Experience the collective action helping to shape a cleaner, safer Joburg and rediscover the revitalized energy that makes the city unique. Enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with FNB. I'm getting excited, hey? You know, the big thing, the big days. I'm starting to feel that way about that Josie My Josie 702 Walk the Talk.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
12 to 7, the CWN Traffic brought to you by OUTsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. There's a crash on the N1 North. Amma, what's going on?
Yeah, Bongani, it's in the Roodepoort area right near the N14th Avenue exit. It's causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of Albertina Sisulu Road. There's also an accident reported in the east of Joburg, particularly Edenville, along the R24 N12 west towards the Kilulis interchange. Delays coming out of Edenville Road. Please be on the lookout there and approach with care. I'll have more details coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Things people stress about in traffic. Number 48. Did I upload the updated version of the presentation? Oh, the anxiety. Well, with the Outsurance Pointsman on your route, at least the traffic is one less thing to stress about. The Outsurance Pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and really all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Catch it this Wednesday at 10 to 9 featuring Lottoland. Their Chief Marketing Officer, Marika Haywood, will be in conversation with us. And we do this on Wednesdays to highlight the efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702, let's walk the talk and together make a difference.
Is there a word for the feeling of a road disappearing over the horizon? Beyonding? What about the feeling you get when you see sunlight flickering through rows of trees? Sun fizzing. Anyway, some things don't like to be explained. They just ask to be felt. Like the feeling of a drive built around you. Technology that's human first makes you one with your car in a way that you can't explain. You can only feel. And there's a word for that. Mazda. Wonder awaits. At the 702 Josie Majosi Walk the Talk, snap and share all 5 Mazda Wonder experiences using hashtag MazdaSA to stand a chance to win a share of 50,000 Rand.
What is your business here? You didn't start your business to play it safe. You took the leap, made the bold move, and now it's time to make the next one. Next week, 702 and Budget Business Insurance are giving small businesses the chance to win their share of 100,000 Rand with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza. Enter on PrimeMediaPlus.com. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one will be. Then get an obligation-free Budget Business Insurance quote. 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa could call you. Budget Insurance is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Up next, we have a conversation about the growing pressure on women's reproductive health at many of our public facilities. We'll speak to Section 27 about that. In the meantime, Asipe is 13 years old, I beg your pardon, and Asipe wants to be a chef, I'm told. Asipe, what's your favorite dish?
Lasagna.
Lasagna. And you make it well, do you? I don't know, but you like eating it. I suppose that's what counts, right? That is what counts. Oh, I beg your pardon, I've completely confused you. Asipe is our next guest. You are Ntombizoto. Ntombizoto, please forgive me.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Ntombizoto. You're so kind. KG, let's start the clock. Which word means to give up? Hassle or abandon?
Abandon.
Correct. In children's books, how many bears are there with Goldilocks?
3.
Correct. True or false? OR Tambo Airport is named after a former ANC president.
True.
Correct. Which is the only planet in our solar system known to have life?
Earth.
Correct. Which athletic event can male athletes compete in less than 10 seconds?
Pass.
100 meters. What color is SpongeBob SquarePants?
Yellow.
Correct. What do humans breathe in to survive?
Oxygen.
Correct. In which large Asian country is the city Shanghai? Is it China or Japan?
China.
Correct. True or false? A geologist is somebody who studies old books.
False.
Correct. Spell the word holiday.
H-O.
We just ran out of time there, But a really impressive round, Ntombizoto, a really impressive round. 800 Rand is what you walk away with. Remember, you have to be 10 to 13 to play. 100 bucks for each correct answer. Get all 10 correct. You win 10,000 Rand. How close was that?
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
Current events, developing stories,
Tough questions.
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
6 minutes to 7. On to this now. Let's take, a random province like the Eastern Cape. Think of what it takes to leave a rural village deep in the Eastern Cape to make it towards more urban areas and the city. This, of course, as the South African Human Rights Commission has told us, that only 9%, listen to that stat, only 9% of the provincial road network is paved. So, if you're a pregnant woman seeking to access health care, what it often means is you have to walk on roads that when there are rains, for example, or localized flooding, these roads are entirely washed away, leaving dongas, and it cuts villages off from schools, from clinics, and police stations. But somehow you make it to the clinic. You need assistance. You are pregnant, and it's one you want to terminate. Having overcome all of that, you are told no. No, sorry, not here. The reason? The healthcare worker who is attending to you says, it's against my beliefs. It's against my religion. What on earth? Let's speak now to the real Asipe Funda, who is, of course, a health attorney at Section 27. Asipe, I was so keen to talk to you. I misnamed the kid, hey?
Good morning, Bongani. I noticed.
Apologies for that. I mean, I've painted a picture of a rural woman trying to access abortion services, and we're seeing that increasingly in the Eastern Cape and Limpopo, some are turned away because the healthcare providers simply don't want to help them.
Definitely, or simply that there's no healthcare provider. They retired a few years ago, or they were moved to an alternative facility, or that facility simply does not provide the service. So the first thing, before anything, is that the right to reproductive health encompasses access to information for women. And that means women having accessibility to the facility or the information regarding the facilities where access to termination of pregnancy is possible. But that is not possible at the moment. You visit the Eastern Cape Department of Health's website, and there's nothing. With Limpopo, you visit the website, you get a list of facilities, but only half of those facilities are actually operational. So women actually find themselves knocking on closed doors, having traveled with money that they simply do not have.
So again, there's a disjuncture between the legislative framework in terms of the Choice on Termination of Pregnancy Act and the implementation of the policy. It's weak, if not downright pathetic, isn't it?
The huge problem, Bongani, is that the framework is adequate. The Termination of Pregnancy Act is even supplemented by guidelines to the Act. Guidelines that are very specific about what a first trimester facility should look like and what a second trimester facility should look like, and who has the responsibility to designate. So for a first trimester facility, there's no need to designate. Clinics should be operational. They should be providing that care. For second trimester, the MECs of the provinces should be designating, which is what we're seeing is not happening. And they should actually be doing annual audits to check which facility needs what, and in terms of staffing, which facility needs replacement. But as we are saying, the implementation is the problem. It is simply not happening.
So what happens if this remains unresolved? What will this mean for women and their right to reproductive health, especially, of course, where delays may push them beyond the legal limits for when they can access abortion services?
But Bongani, what we know to be the reality is that abortions will take place, whether they take place within a formal regulated system or outside one. We saw this pre-1994, when abortion in South Africa was prohibited, and we saw women dying in scores. And what is our biggest fear is that this continues to happen. Women continue to go through backstreet abortions with illegal providers who cannot guarantee them the safety that they need, when there's actually a formal structure within which they should be accessing the service, a service that is guaranteed twice in the Constitution, because it's not only just that the Constitution guarantees the right to access to health care, including reproductive health care, but it also guarantees women the right to make their own reproductive choices. So what we're seeing here is that there is no realization of the guarantees provided in the Constitution for women, number one. Number two, at most, South Africa is risking with women's lives, women who have no other alternatives and cannot even afford other alternatives at this point.
And
I'd like to point
hold on, can healthcare workers refuse and say, no, this offends my moral code or my religion?
That one is a tricky one. The department says they can refuse. However, that is not on any of our law. It's not within the Act itself. It's simply a provision that was then put in the guidelines. However, we then say there needs to be a balancing of interests. If in a facility there are nurses who say that they cannot provide that service, one, they have to refer women to another provider who may be able to provide the service. Two, the department has a duty as well to ensure that facilities actually have nurses and providers who are actually not objecting to this.
Yeah, I think we're mollycoddling those people. I think people who have those objections shouldn't be working in the public service, receiving taxpayer rands and then deciding their morality can be imposed on others, particularly where it becomes a matter of life and death. That is my view, because even if you say, let's provide them another facility in rural areas, that could be hundreds of kilometers away. And as you say, there's not even enough clear information on the various websites to help those seeking this help. Asiphe Funda is a health attorney at Section 27.
702. Coming up, the big interview.
Up next, how safe are you feeling ahead of the 30th of June? Are you anxious? Are you going to be business as usual? Are you assured by what the police and those in charge are telling you?
This is EWN.
Police say investigations into Feroz Khan's shooting have been activated.
This investigation is being led by the Gauteng Hawks, Crime Intelligence and the SAPS Detective Service.
And the Malawian government scrambles to find transport for its citizens who desperately want to go home. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Is the breaking story. The South African Police Service has launched a high-level investigation into the shooting of suspended crime intelligence boss Feroz Khan. EWN understands that Khan was attacked near his Houghton home last night. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate says the political killings task team will also be roped in to investigate the shooting.
This investigation is being led by the Gauteng Hawks, Crime Intelligence and the SAPS Detective Service. Lieutenant General Timpani has further directed that the political killings task team be incorporated into the investigation to ensure that every possible lead is pursued and that those responsible are brought to book.
The shooting comes 3 days before Khan was expected to testify at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Alfara Mushwana was at the scene shortly after the shooting.
When EWN arrived at the scene just after midnight, a grey Suzuki Baleno, believed to belong to Khan, was found idling with its lights still on. 2 cartridges were visible next to the vehicle, with SAPS ballistics analysts placing yellow markers beside them. Police vehicles filled the affluent suburb, while some residents watched from their windows trying to make sense of the gunfire. Khan's uncle, Pregi Periachi, spoke to the media outside the Mill Park Hospital, where his nephew is admitted.
It's part of life, eh?
Yeah.
We have to see what happens from there.
Does the family want justice?
Yes, most definitely. Yeah. Whoever did it must pay for it.
Yeah. How's Khan feeling?
No idea. I haven't checked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going out.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. See you.
Khan is meant to testify at the Madlanga Commission on Wednesday about several allegations of corruption. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News in Houghton.
Joburg road users are being warned about spontaneous marches expected in some parts of Soweto this morning. Metro Police have been deployed across to monitor the activities. Spokesperson Xolani Fihla says road users should prepare to use alternative routes.
To motorists, please anticipate delays, heavy law enforcement presence, and the potential localized diversions around Zondi, Jabulani, and surrounding arterial routes tomorrow morning. If possible, please plan your trips early or utilize alternative routes to avoid frustration.
The Malawian government says no transport has yet been secured to repatriate its nationals in Johannesburg. The Malawian Consulate General has confirmed there's currently no plan to transport the nearly 400 people who've been camping outside its Sandton offices since Saturday, seeking assistance to return home. Malawian citizens say they want to leave South Africa ahead of tomorrow's protests against undocumented foreign nationals. Mongezi Koko reports.
After hours of waiting outside the consulate yesterday, many Malawian nationals left without the answers they had hoped for. The consulate has told Eyewitness News that no buses have been secured to transport those in Johannesburg and that there is currently no repatriation plan in place for them. This despite hundreds arriving with their belongings, hoping to join the thousands of Malawian nationals who have already returned home in recent days amid growing tensions linked to the 30 June anti-illegal immigration protests. For now, hundreds remain in limbo as they wait for clarity on when or how they'll return to Lilongwe. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News, Sandton.
And the US and Iran have agreed to stop attacking each other and plan to meet and resume talks aimed at ending the Middle East war. US and Iranian forces traded strikes in recent days despite a fragile memorandum of understanding that seeks a comprehensive end to the conflict that began in late February and disrupted shipping through the vital Strait of Hormuz. Under that agreement, Tehran committed to allowing safe passage of commercial vessels through the strait, while Washington agreed to lift its blockade of Iranian ports. An American official says tactical talks are slated to continue on all areas of the MOU, and both sides will stand down for now and vessels can move freely. Gold is trading at $4,090.26 an ounce. The rand is at $16.99 to the dollar, $22.42 to the pound, $19.34 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $72.45 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident in the city of Tshwane leaving Centurion. This is along the N1 North. It happened after Border Avenue. It's causing heavy delays. I'm also seeing delays on the N1 South approaching the scene. This is just as you come out of the Flying Saucer interchange.
And in your sport, Bafana coach Hugo Broos says his side lacked power and speed in their 1-0 World Cup loss to Canada. Proteas women keep the country's flag flying. They're through to the T20 World Cup semi-final. And tennis's third Grand Slam of the year, Wimbledon, starts today.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg is at a low of 5 degrees, peaking at 20. Pretoria, 7 and 22. Vereeniging, 4 and 21 degrees. The breaking story in EWN this hour. The South African Police Service has launched a high-level investigation into the shooting of suspended crime intelligence boss Feroz Khan.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy that connects us all. That's what makes this one so special. In 702, Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Johannesburg. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Communication matters. Words matter. How you say them, when you say them, to whom you say them. All of it matters. We've received high-level assurances from almost everyone in the security cluster in recent days, right up to the president. I've just observed this pattern of officials and politicians reading long statements, and most of these are televised, but for almost the entire duration, they're looking down. No eye contact with the camera, no sense of I'm speaking to people with children, with businesses, with investments, with fears, with anxieties. And you wonder at times, is this person even reading something they prepared themselves? And I did say earlier, perhaps as a broadcaster, I'm expecting too much, but I think it's time, particularly at a moment like this, that our politicians learn how to communicate and to do so as if they are humans speaking to other humans. How's your day shaping up tomorrow? Business as usual? Are you making contingency plans? Do you have anxieties? Has your workplace given you any leeway around what might or might not happen? Or are you confident? This time they'll get it right. This is not 2021.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Shame. Talking of the World Cup, how unlucky was the Iranian team? So they played all their matches and they were just goalless draws, right? Not goalless draws, they just kept drawing, I beg your pardon. They just kept drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. And in their last game, they took the lead, Amo, until VAR said no. The guy was offside. Do you know how he was offside? By a toe. It was only his toe, his big toe, that deemed him offside, and that goal was disallowed. And then they had to watch the game between Algeria and Austria, which just kept on seesawing. They needed one of the two teams to lose. They didn't care which one won. As long as one of them lost, then they were in. They went 1-1, 2-2, and then it was 3-2. And then only in the 96th minute, Algeria equalized. And that meant Iran was out of the World Cup. But reflecting on their experience, the Iranian captain Mehdi Taremi slammed FIFA and how the whole team had been treated throughout the tournament. Of course, because of political reasons well beyond the control of the footballers.
It's a disaster, World Cup. Disaster. I mean, FIFA, they have to solve every problem here, but unfortunately, they couldn't solve since the beginning. Mr. Infantino came to our changing room first game and he said, it's just the beginning. It's group stage finish. Well, we always have to travel to Tijuana. We love people of the Mexico. We love Tijuana. It's so good. They are so humble people. We love them. But as a professional players, professional competition, it's not right. Yeah, it's about our opinion, because now we have traveled again to going to Tijuana again. So without recovery, without nothing, it's not fair. But by our opinion, it's not fair. If is it fair for the FIFA? Okay, good to them. But it's not fair. Who wants to help us? Who? If they want us to be out, okay, let's out. Let's get out.
It's not fair. Who wants to help us? Who wants to help us? This could easily be words echoed by Palestinian children, particularly in Gaza. We told you last week of this newly released Independent International Commission of Inquiry report looking into Palestine. The chair, Srinivasan Muralidia, represented the findings of their report, alleging that Israeli forces systematically target children. And the briefing referenced testimony from medical professionals, forensic reviews, and reported cases of severe injuries involving children, including allegedly using weapons-fitted drones. These are drones that fly over residential areas. They've got heat sensors, and they can map out, using a heat map, as it were, the bodies inside a building. So even if you're underground, hiding in a bunker, these things can see who you are. They know your size. They can figure out if it's a toddler, if it's an adult, if it's a woman or a man. Listen to what the chair of the inquiry says the Israeli military is doing, using these drones, systematically targeting babies.
In one instance, a breastfeeding baby was shot by a quadcopter through the head, and the baby now suffers a permanent paralysis. Quadcopters, as all of you are aware, has thermal imagery. It has infrared heat cameras, which can tell you the shape of the body. And so the soldiers are able to immediately detect, sitting wherever they are, that this is a child who appears on the screen. And indeed, it is like a game for them. And We have quoted that in the report where the soldiers say, you see everything on a screen. You drop the bomb. It feels like a game. You can sit in some basement of a house, safe, with your helmet off, scratching your balls, half-dressed, and kill Palestinians.
Thermal imagery. They knew it was a baby lying on its back, breastfeeding. They've got infrared imagery, and still they drop the bombs. How anybody continues to support this government is beyond me.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
14 after 6. Senior Crime Intelligence Officer Feroz Khan reportedly shot in Houghton, Johannesburg last night, and we understand a high-level probe into that incident has been launched by the police. It was on this day in the year 2000, the rapper Eminem's mother took him to court demanding $10 million over lyrics of his hit song My Name Is, arguing that song had damaged her reputation, turning a family feud into global headlines. We're keeping an eye on the United States versus Iran, both countries agreeing to stand down for now after a weekend of renewed strikes and counter-strikes. And that, of course, has tested the already fragile ceasefire. And do you believe in life after love? Sure, plenty to celebrate on this day in 1991. Her album Love Hurts reached number 1 in the UK for the very first time.
7:02. Up next,
The Big Interview.
EWN Traffic.
Let's catch up with the roads now. Amo, what are you seeing on your maps? Pretoria is the big hotspot.
Oh, it is indeed, Bongani. A major accident reported on the N1 North. It happened right near Water Avenue. Delays coming out of John Foster Drive. There's also queuing traffic as a result on the N1 South approaching the scene due to onlookers. The delays are as you come out of the Flying Saucer interchange. Please be on the lookout there and approach with of course, peak time delays bugging people along the R80 East Mabopane Highway. This is towards Eskom Patlele exit. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. 7:02.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
Big interview, of course, starting with preparations for tomorrow. The country on high alert as these demonstrations planned against undocumented migrants. That deadline looming. We've got on the line Brigadier Adlenda Mate, who is, of course, the spokesperson for the police. We had been promised Lieutenant General Tibile Musikili, who is, of course, the Nat Joint's chairperson, but I would imagine these are busy time and they've got a lot on their hands. Always appreciate you, Brigadier. Thank you for your time this morning.
A very good morning to you and to listeners.
Right, let's start with the latest news that's just in. The shooting last night, we understand, of the crime intelligence boss, Feroz Khan. You've got details for us?
Well, I can confirm that unfortunately last night an attempt was made on the life of Major General Feroz Khan. It's a deeply concerning incident to us as the SAPS, but we are grateful that he has survived. We are told that he is in hospital. Our thoughts are with him and his family. The investigation is already underway. The Hawks Intelligence Detective Service, and in addition, the acting national commissioner had directed that the political killings task team also be incorporated into the investigation to ensure that every possible angle, and evidence is thoroughly investigated.
Is there any possibility, as we have seen before, particularly with witnesses due to appear before various law enforcement processes, staged attacks? Is there any possibility this could be one?
Well, at this stage, we are aware that Major General Khan was due to appear before the Matlanka Commission. At this stage, it would be irresponsible to speculate on any possible motive or to draw conclusions about whether the attack is linked to this, to his impending appearance.
Yeah.
But we have also noted that speculation suggesting that the incident may have been staged. The fact is that a police officer has been shot, and it would be reckless and insensitive to dismiss such a serious incident without evidence. We do not believe at this stage that anyone would go to such extreme lengths to shoot themselves to avoid appearing before a commission. But we will be led by the evidence that we gather.
What has prompted the probe?
Well, the attempted murder. Remember, he has been shot. He is in hospital. So there is an attempted murder case that we must investigate.
All right. Is it standard? Because as I understand it, the general was on his own, without his own weapon, without his own firearm, no protection service, late at night. Would that surprise you?
Well, it's quite a strange incident, but remember, like I've indicated, we are not going to speculate on what the motive is and the timing. I think a lot of people are asking about the timing, but at where we are sitting, we are saying we doubt that anyone would go to such extreme lengths not to appear before the commission, because the fact is that he has been shot, he is in hospital, and he is recovering.
All right, let's talk about tomorrow, June 30th. That deadline is now upon us. Many South Africans are still anxious about what might unfold tomorrow, despite reassurances.
Well, we can assure the people of South Africa that we are well prepared and we are focused on ensuring that we protect the citizens of this country. We have long maintained that we are not against the citizens marching. We are deployed to prevent unlawful demonstrations. So we are deployed there to ensure that these demonstrations take place safely, securely, and in an orderly manner. We are there to protect life, safeguard property, prevent criminality, and respond swiftly should any individual seek to exploit these legitimate grievances.
The worry, Brigadier, is that we've already seen, of course, at least one death related to these demonstrations. We've certainly seen people being shambocked. We've seen people being routinely asked for papers and where they come from. And statements inciting this kind of violence have been reasonably widespread, and yet very little has been done. We're, of course, also on the eve of 5 years since 2021 and the riots that took place there. And to this day, we're none the wiser about the instigators of that one.
Well, there are lessons learned from July unrest, and you will know that in that period, there were intelligence failures, there was no proper coordination between stakeholders, there was communication failures, and so on. That is why you see we are more than prepared this time around. But let me be clear that anyone who finds themselves on the wrong side of the law will be dealt with decisively. So we are not going to take any criminality lightly. We are prepared. We are on the ground.
Right.
Our members have received the marching orders and we are ready.
Appreciate your time as always, Brigadier Adlenda Mate there, the spokesperson of the South African Police.
Let's hear from Chantal and Mel, owners of Jelly Body and Nail Studio, why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance.
We were with our previous insurer for about 4 years, and when we decided to switch, it was actually a flawless process. It definitely pays to switch.
For beauty salons, convenience stores, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
On Sunday, 26 July, 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk will take you and the rest of Joburg on a scenic walk through the iconic inner city. And you better keep your eyes open and take it all in, because 5 Mazda Wonder experiences await along the 8-kilometer route. Get captured by the surprise grand piano performance. Step into the world of color. Lose yourself in a giant bubble field. Pause in the tranquil Japanese garden. And then pop into the Mazda Wonder Hub. And when you visited at least one of the 5 Mazda Wonder experiences, share your wonder moment with family and friends on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok of 50,000 Rand, thanks to Mazda, where wonder awaits. Official vehicle partner of 702 Josie, My Josie Walk the Talk.
Score big with the Checkers XXL Savings Championship with over 150 million rand in weekly extra savings. Get Jacob's Kroninger Gold Instant Coffee 200 or 230 grams, any two for 299 rand. Clover Butro Full Cream Modified Butter Spread 500 grams, two for 159 rand. And Twin Saver 2-ply white toilet rolls, 24 per pack for 159.99. Valid until 5 July, only at Checkers.
A city's budget shapes far more than its finances. It influences infrastructure, service delivery, and opportunities. Catch 702 Drive with John Pullman in conversation with MMC Jongazizwe Dlabati as we unpack the city's budget for the 2027 financial year. That's 702 Drive with John Pullman.
702. The Big Interview with Bongani Bingwa.
All right, let's carry on now to something else. Of course, lots of anxiety around what might or might not happen tomorrow. Our next guest says, hang on a minute, why don't we call a thing a thing? Many people are saying, xenophobia, perhaps even Afrophobia, or even anti-illegal migrant. That's the sentiment that leads us to tomorrow. He's got an entirely different word and outlook on this and says we need to call a thing a thing. Yashilin Govender, appreciate your time. A very good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Bongani. Good morning to all the listeners.
You're a civil society activist, and you're saying it's important how we frame these issues because what we call it might determine how we respond to it.
That is correct. That is correct. I think we need to be honest about what we're actually facing or what we're handling. It does determine what our response is going to be.
Why do people agonize over the use of the word xenophobia?
I think part of it is, well, it could be technical and academic concerns, about accuracy of terms, defining them. You can see that, in our recent ICJ case, there's a lot of debate over the term genocide itself. And I think it's important to have those technical debates, but I also think that it can also stifle or it can force us to act in a certain false sense of understanding, by kind of limiting ourselves in actually understanding or being honest about what's in front of us right now.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, the people who lead this thing, who are leading this thing and supporting it, they're calling it an anti-illegal migrant movement, and they're saying they're particularly targeting those who are undocumented. What's your quibble with that?
It's not a quibble, actually. This is what I've seen in front of my own eyes. Right? And I'd actually like you to go and look at what the organizers of these marches and these protest actions, what they've actually said over the last few months. And if you look at it, you'll see a trajectory. The narrative that was originally pushed was that these actions are against illegal migrants. Right? Then it shifted down to these actions are against migrants. Most recently, I saw an interview, I think it was with a Nigerian radio station, and there it was very clearly the attention had now shifted to include specifically asylum seekers and refugees. So you can see that goalposts are constantly shifting here. Right? And just by chance, I actually looked at my phone and I actually read a message from a friend of mine a few months ago. And this person actually mentioned that you need to watch how the goalposts are shifting. It's moved from illegal migrants, it's gone to migrants, and he said, where are the goalposts going to shift next? But at the moment, it covers everyone, documented or undocumented, migrant or refugee. And there is a difference between migrant and refugee.
Because both could potentially be undocumented, couldn't they?
That is correct. And you have to look at what does undocumented mean. Undocumented can include someone who has gone to apply for the renewal of a permit, but Home Affairs hasn't processed the renewal application, and their permit goes and it gets expired. Now, it's not that person's fault that the permit is expired without being renewed. It's an issue with Home Affairs. But that person gets categorized as an undocumented migrant due to no fault of their own.
How nervous are you about tomorrow and what might occur?
I'm not going to use the word nervous, to be honest. Right? I will say
apprehensive.
I would say that we're concerned. Right? I understand that there are, and according to your previous guests as well, there are security measures in place. We're well aware of that. I want to get something clear here. One of our major concerns is actually the humanitarian issue, less of the security issue. One of the big concern we actually have is that the state is focusing on a security-heavy approach to the challenges in our country right now, but they're not looking at it in a humane manner. And we're seeing this quite clearly at the repatriation sites. Those are the most obvious examples, where we're seeing there's no adequate provision of medical care. We've seen pregnant women give birth while in transit to the border. We're seeing that civil society is providing food, water, clothing, blankets in winter, and the state isn't. And one of the worst things is, if you go to Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg, in all of these areas where you've seen migrants or refugees be displaced from their homes, the state hasn't provided shelter in either of these major cities. In each of these cities, you had hundreds, if not thousands, of migrants that had to flee their homes.
All right, Yeshlin Govender, appreciate your time. Civil society activists saying we're all worried about security. What about our humanity?
EWN Business.
Oh, look at that. Standard Bank Matera becoming the first African bank authorized to clear Chinese currency payments. What does this mean?
Yeah, Standard Bank has been given the nod to clear Chinese renminbi payments, making it easier, faster and more cost-effective for businesses on the continent to trade with China. Now, the approval granted by the People's Bank of China, together with the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, allows Standard Bank to process yuan transactions across 19 African countries. The move is one of many by China to internationalize the yuan and reduce dependence on a global payment system dominated by the US dollar. Now, the move gives businesses and financial institutions direct access to China's onshore financial system for the first time, including capital markets and liquidity infrastructure, streamlining cross-border trade and investment flows. Now, according to the Chinese customs data, China-Africa trade rose nearly 18% last year, and last month, Beijing also removing all tariffs on imports from 53 African nations.
You can see the plan there coming together. All right, we're watching the Gulf closely. Where's the oil price?
Yeah, oil prices up slightly this morning, Bongani, because there's been that tit-for-tat strikes up by the US and Iran that underscored the fragility of the interim peace deal and again slowed energy shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, so that we've seen the price of oil going up slightly this morning. The rand at the current moment, 16 rand 46 against the US dollar, 18 rand 74 against the euro, 21 rand 70 cents against the British pound. Price of gold, $4,052 an ounce, or platinum is also lower this morning, $1,605 an ounce. Brent crude now at $72 a barrel. More business after 8.
This Eyewitness News brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. Questions. Sfiso Zudu, but any answers?
Yeah, Bongani, good morning. That's what we're all trying to figure out. The South African Police Service has launched a high-level investigation into the shooting of suspended crime intelligence boss Firoz Khan. EWN understands that Khan was attacked near his Halton home last night. The shooting comes just 3 days before he's expected to testify at the Matlanga Commission of Inquiry about corruption allegations against him. Police spokesperson Athlinda Mate says the political killings task team will also be roped in to investigate the attack.
This investigation is being led by the Gauteng Hawks, Crime Intelligence and the SAPS Detective Service. Lieutenant General Timpani has further directed that the political killings task team be incorporated into the investigation to ensure that every possible lead is pursued and that those responsible are brought to book.
Mate has urged the public not to spread false information about the shooting.
While SAPS is aware of public speculation regarding the timing of the attack, it is premature and irresponsible to speculate on any possible motive or to conclude that the incident is linked to his anticipated appearance before the commission.
The Gauteng Education Department has raised the alarm over alleged fraud in the province's scholar transport system. An internal assessment discovered evidence that some service providers may have misrepresented their fleets while putting learners' lives at risk. The department says the alleged abuse has seen some pupils overloaded into vehicles and some arriving late for school. Mongezi Koko has the story.
The findings show some contractors are allegedly operating with fewer vehicles than they declared when they were awarded tenders. The department says this has created a gap between what government is paying for and the service learners are actually receiving. It has announced that scholar transport inspections, routine verification, vehicle audits and compliance checks will now be intensified. Education MEC Lebogang Maile.
There is prima facie evidence that some service providers misrepresent the quality, quantity and conditions of vehicles used to transport learners.
The department says any service provider found to have overloaded learners, operated unroadworthy vehicles or manipulated contracts will face termination of their contracts and referred to law enforcement. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News.
The South African Local Government Association says the Transport Department has not provided any certainty on the funding model to implement ARTO. SALGA has approached the High Court in Pretoria to interdict Phase 2 of the Administrative Adjudication of Road Traffic Offences Act rollout. The Act aims to centralise traffic fine management, shifting violations from courts to administrative processes. SALGA Sebang Mutlabi says the current ARTO regulations place an additional financial burden on municipalities.
And we did not only take the approach of the courts. What we have done as well, we have lodged what we call intergovernmental relations dispute, where we are saying we have tried the level best that we could as an association to speak with the department. We are therefore lodging this dispute and request that those who are responsible to resolve this dispute can come on board to sit us down and resolve this dispute.
He says SALGA stands ready to work with both provincial and national government to resolve the matter.
So we are doing all of these things in good faith on the basis that we are the vanguards of the local government, and we've got the responsibility to safeguard the interest of the local government on the basis that their core mandate, as the Constitution provides, ought not to be disrupted by unfunded mandates that are going to be forcefully relegated or delegated to local government.
And a skydiving plane has crashed, killing 11 people in France. Nurses are among the people killed in what local authorities have described as the country's deadliest ever general aviation accident. Authorities also say the plane fell in a completely unexplained manner during the ascent. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. A fine day in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 5 and 4 degrees, peaking at highs between 20 and 22.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North approaching the Baklu interchange. That's due to a car stuck on the road. Please be on the lookout there while traveling in Sharon Lee. We've got faulty traffic lights at Malibongwe Drive and President Foshe Road, causing heavy delays. There's also queuing traffic on Malibongwe Drive towards Rocky right after the N1.
The breaking story this hour. Police have launched a high-level investigation into the shooting of suspended crime intelligence boss Feroz Khan.
Outsurance can't improve your couch coaching skills. But they could improve the car insurance premium you currently pay. SMS out to 45142. Get a quote today, and if Outsurance can't save you money on your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Get a quote and get savings or cash. Either way, you win. SMS out to 45142. When it comes to car insurance, you couldn't be in better hands. Outsurance was voted News 24 Short-Term Insurer of the Year for 4 years in a row. Beal to Reader's Choice Best Insurer 4 years in a row. And City Press Reader's Choice Best Insurer Award 3 years in a row. Clearly, they all feel they're getting something out. SMS right now to see if you can switch and save. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Sunday, 26 July, 7:02, Josie, my Josie, walk the talk, uniting the people of Joburg and walking the iconic city together. FNB is coming along with you because they believe that help starts on the ground with people coming together to connect, participate and celebrate the city, all for a good cause. So join FNB in the Joburg CBD to explore the historic streets, thriving public spaces and the awesome urban scenery. And whilst you're walking with pride, you'll also experience the collective action that helps to make a cleaner, safer Joburg. So walk with the people, for our Josie. 7:02, Josie My Josie, walk the talk in proud partnership with FNB. Enter now at primemediaplus.com.
Breaking news. Motorists are bracing themselves for even more fuel price hikes in June.
Or prepare differently. BYD hybrid vehicles use up to 70% less fuel than normal cars. And BYD fully electric vehicles, no fuel at all. Test drive the brand new BYD Atto 2 DMI plug-in hybrid this June and kiss rising fuel prices goodbye forever. Visit byd.coza or your nearest dealership. BYD, build your dreams.
On Sunday, 26 July, the entire city unites for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk.
Walk the talk.
And because Joburg is more than just a city, we'll be walking for the people. So join us and help make a difference to homelessness in the city by entering on primemediaplus.com and donating vouchers.
Donate the voucher.
Which is a cashless way to give, helping people experiencing homelessness access a hot shower, a meal, a bed, or more support. Anybody can join and everybody can donate. 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter and donate now on primemediaplus.com.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani. I was listening to the police officer when she was talking about Khan. When you asked the question whether it's possible for them to look into a possible self-hit, and she says no, they will look at it, but it's unlikely, highly unlikely that somebody can go to that extreme. If a police officer already dismisses things like that before the investigation is finished, we have a problem. How do you dismiss it? It's a possibility. It can happen. People have done things strangely. It is a possibility. So when she says it's unlikely, for me it's problematic. She should say, let me investigate everything that has happened. Cindy.
Good morning, Bonks. Not to be insensitive, but this whole Farouz Khan thing, is it not another case of Brian Mokhoti? The timing is just very off, but anyway.
Yeah, look, firstly, let's start with that first voice note from Sindile, I think it is. Unlikely, even highly unlikely, leaves the room for possibility. I think you're kind of contradicting yourself there. She's not dismissing it. She says it's highly unlikely. I do not expect that that's where it will go, but it remains possible. And part of what she was at pains to say was we're not going to speculate about things we don't know, because let's remember, if indeed we cannot prove that this thing was staged, then a very senior police official has been shot near his home. That's got to be something that worries all of us. However, South Africa being South Africa, you can go back to Busasa, right? Remember the Busasa? Yeah, the less I say, perhaps, the better.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance, a chance for you to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. So first we'll give you 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question that gets to the answer. SMS out to 45142, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Nelson. Nelson, please give us today's answer.
My name is...
I see what you did there. My name is indeed Nelson.
Yes.
You have won yourself 1,000 Rand.
Thank you.
All thanks to Outsurance and 702.
All thanks to Outsurance and 702. God bless you.
Are you going to share it with Winnie? Thank you, Nelson. He says the answer is, hi, my name is... What's the question? Call us if you know on 011 8830 702.
Good morning, Mabeleni. On Bafana, just like the first game, it was ours to lose. Honestly, it was ours to lose. We had, and I don't know what was the strategic in terms of them playing at the back. I don't know. That was frustrating me more than anything.
EWN Sport.
And of course, it's the big story of the morning if you're waking up or if you were off the planet overnight. Cindy Paluta.
Or maybe you just fell asleep and you've woken up now and you've gone, oh, sherbet, what was the score?
What happened?
Yeah, Bafana are out of the World Cup. We will have more for you in the World Cup desk at the end of this bulletin. But first, the Proteas women keeping the country's flag flying high. They're through to the T20 Cricket World Cup semi-final. They beat Bangladesh by 4 wickets yesterday and have Australia to thank because Australia beat India by 6 wickets. Proteas captain Laura Wolfhard said they struggled to chase down the 118 needed in part due to tough conditions.
Moved around early for the seam, and then I think lefty got quite a bit of turn when she was bowling in the middle. They were bowling pretty slow as well, so I think a bit of a mixture of the wicket being a touch slow and just really slow bowling. But yeah, I think it was nice to be able to bowl first with a bit of assistance for the seamers.
Proteas women play England in the semi-final on Thursday, while England's men's captain Ben Stokes will retire after this deciding third test with New Zealand. At stumps on day 4, England 103 for 4, needing a further 270. George Russell won the Austrian F1 Grand Prix to cut Kimi Antonelli's title lead to 40 points. Antonelli finished third behind Max Verstappen. Here's Antonelli.
I mean, the start of the race was really bad. I was a bit all over the place. I was also sliding the tires a bit too much. The second and third stint were pretty good. Obviously, there's a lot of things that needs to be tightened up, but overall, looking forward to next weekend in Silverstone.
And tennis's third Grand Slam of the year, Wimbledon, starts today. As with the French Open, top players will only do 15 minutes of media in protest as they feel they deserve a higher percentage of the revenue. The 3 matches on centre court today opens with the men's top seed Yannick Sinner against Kemanovic, followed by the women's top seed Sabalenka playing Kostovic, and lastly Djokovic against Wu.
I saw Djokovic commenting on the return of Serena Williams. I'm curious about on which court she will start as a wild card.
She starts tomorrow. I'll let you know. The
EWN World Cup Desk. The latest scores, the biggest stories, and the moments everyone's talking about.
Steven Estakio, his current home city, plays for LAFC, has almost certainly now delivered Canada a place in round 16. Their historic journey at this FIFA World Cup 2026 set to continue.
That was the moment. South African fans' hearts broke last night. Bafana going down 1-0 to co-host Canada in LA. Estakio gaining the win in the 92nd minute. Here's the most Canadian-sounding striker.
We work for it. We feel like we're our brothers. And at the same time, when we fight for each other, when we play for each other, special things like this can happen. I'm over the moon, but at the same time, I don't want to say that the job's finished. We know that we're going to get Morocco or Netherlands, which is going to be a very hard game.
He got his R's right at the end.
Yes.
It's a hard game.
Yes. It was supposed to be Hugo Bruce's last game in charge of Bafana, but the oldest coach to lead a side at a World Cup says maybe it's not the case anymore.
No.
So first of all, I'm always open if people need advice. There's no problem. Secondly, I will see in the next days what I will do for the future. I said always, yes, this is my last, and it is my last World Cup. That is for sure. But yeah, what will happen in the next days and weeks, that depends also a little bit. South Africa see the future with me.
Captain Ronwen Williams and what the coach means to the team.
I know he will be proud. He saw his team competing, the resilience, the belief. That's what he has instilled in us since day one, was that belief. Even when we had so much doubters, he always believed in us. What he's done for South African football, we can only thank him for giving us that belief, the hope. I mean, he inspired a nation. If this is his last, he can go with his head held up. His head high, amazing.
Canada advance and will play either the Netherlands or Morocco. Those teams are doing battle tomorrow morning at 3. Tonight, the round of 32 continues. Brazil playing Japan at 7, followed by Germany against Paraguay. And the round of 32 had 9 out of the African sides there. Egypt, Ghana, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Cape Verde, DR Congo, and Algeria. And in the world rankings, all the men's top 10 teams are still there. Argentina will play Cape Verde. France got Sweden, Spain against Austria, England to play the DR Congo, Portugal will play Croatia, and Belgium battle Senegal. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
From kickoff to the final whistle, this is the EWN World Cup Desk.
When Joburg comes together for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk on Sunday, 26 July, FNB will be walking with you because FNB believes help starts on the ground, people coming together for good. So join FNB on this walk through the iconic Joburg CBD. Witness a city on the move. Experience the collective action, helping to shape a cleaner, safer Joburg. Rediscover the revitalized energy that makes this city unique. Enter now at primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with FNB.
Breaking news. Motorists are bracing themselves for even more fuel price hikes in June.
Or prepare differently. BYD hybrid vehicles use up to 70% less fuel than normal cars. And BYD fully electric vehicles, no fuel at all. Test drive the brand new BYD Atto 2 DMI plug-in hybrid this June and kiss rising fuel prices goodbye forever. Visit byd.coza or your nearest dealership. BYD, build your dreams.
Do you dream of inspiring young minds as a qualified teacher? Whether you're just starting your journey, looking to advance your career, or are already a teacher wanting to upgrade your qualifications, SANS can help. As a registered private higher education institution, SANS offers accredited, affordable distance teaching qualifications with full support every step of the way. Visit sans.co.za today and take your first step towards becoming a teacher.
EWN Traffic.
10 to 8, this EWN Traffic brought to you by the House of Citroen. The all-new Citroen Basalt is here. Book a test drive at citroen.co.za. Traffic lights out in Sharon Lee. Amo?
That's correct, Bongani, along the intersection of Malibongwe Drive and Rocky Street, as well as President Foshe, and they're causing heavy traffic volumes at this moment. We do have pointsmen on duty there, but please be patient because we are picking up those delays. While traveling on the N1 North, queuing traffic between Malibongwe Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. There's also queuing traffic as you approach the Baklu interchange due to a car stuck on the road right near the Sunning Hill area. Then in Melrose, an accident is really a major one. It happened on the Mark 1 North. It happened right near Ethel Oaklands Road. It's causing heavy delays. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North in the Bedfordview area. That's due to roadworks right near the Glulies interchange. I'll have more coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The all-new Citroen Basalt is here with keyless entry, wireless Apple and Android CarPlays, made to look good and to make life easy. And that 470-litre boot, well, it's ready for every outfit change and then some. The all-new Citroen Basalt Coupe SUV from 354,000 Rand. There's a limited launch deal assist of up to 40,000. Book a test today at citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply.
So the other day I get this call from an insurance company. They asked if they could quote me. I said, quote me? I can't remember what I said. But if you're still thinking about it, it must have been pretty good. Mom always said I have a way with words. They just put down the phone. I don't get it.
Don't get that insurance. Get Pineapple. It's easy to get and online. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. T's and C's apply.
When people of Joburg come together, they come together. It'll happen again Sunday, 26 July, 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. And we want you to know we're working closely with the South African Police, the JMPD, private security teams, emergency services, city wardens, and all other key stakeholders. So there will be a complete and comprehensive safety plan in place every step of the way. There's a safe park and ride to the start at Ellis Parks, thanks to the Gautrain and Prasa. Do come along and walk the iconic inner city with us and enter on primemediaplus.com now.
Do you dream of inspiring young minds as a qualified teacher? Whether you're just starting your journey, looking to advance your career, or are already a teacher wanting to upgrade your qualifications, SANS can help. As a registered private higher education institution, SANS offers accredited, affordable distance teaching qualifications with full support every step of the way. Visit sans.co.za today and take your first step towards becoming a teacher.
702's Small Business Focus, powered by Capitec, shines a spotlight on the drive, passion, and dedication behind every successful small business.
You know, I think whenever I sit with an entrepreneur and marketing is the last thing on their minds as part of their strategy, and it's not part of their strategy, I'm in shock. Because the reality of it is we open up websites, we set up shops, and we hope that people will come, and people won't just walk in. You know, you need to be able to announce to those people that you are available and you are there to do business. So then marketing then becomes an essential element in your business where it creates awareness of the business before you actually lead up to the sales. And they're intertwined because you must first market to the people in order for you to actually get the sales out there. And people can't buy what they don't know.
Every Thursday between 6 and 8 p.m. Catch the Small Business Focus on 702 and bank on better business banking with Capitec. Capitec is an authorized FSP 46669.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance, please tell me what's the question. If the answer is hi, my name is, and let's go to Fred. What's the question, Fred?
Hi, good morning. The question is, which song did Eminem, hold on, which song was Eminem sued for $10 million by his mother?
On this day in the year 2000, and here are the lyrics, and you might understand why she might have thought, ooh. He says, all my life, he says 99% of my life I was lied to. I just find out my mom does more dope than I do. Dang. I told her I'd grow up to be a famous rapper, make a record about doing drugs and name it after her. So for that reason, her mother Debbie said, nope, you've defamed me, my reputation, 10 million bucks, please. Fred, congratulations, you win 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. By the way, the case was eventually settled out of court for $25,000, but after legal fees were calculated, Eminem's mother Debbie walked away with just $1,600, the rest going to his attorneys, or her attorneys, I beg your pardon.
I'm trying to get my head straight, but I can't figure out which Spice Girl I want to impregnate.
But, of course, there was some kind of apology a few years later. In 2013, he apologized in a track called Cleaning Out My Closet, saying he forgave her for their past, acknowledging that she did do the best she could under the circumstances, but also expressed regret that they were still unreconciled.
Outsurance can't improve your couch coaching skills, but they could improve the car insurance premium you currently pay. SMS out to 45142. Get a quote today, and if Outsurance can't save you money on your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Get a quote and get savings or cash. Either way, you win. SMS out to 45142. When it comes to car insurance, you couldn't be in better hands. Outsurance was voted News 24 Short-Term Insurer of the Year for 4 years in a row. Beal to Reader's Choice Best Insurer 4 years in a row. And City Press Reader's Choice Best Insurer Award 3 years in a row. Clearly, they all feel they're getting something out. SMS right now to see if you can switch and save. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance. Licensed insurer in FSP. T's and C's online.
Ready to go?
No, can't.
Your mother raised you. She can look after him for 1 day.
But he's just your baby.
He's 7.
Just your baby.
I've packed his favorite toy and blanket.
Okay,
Just grab his Hills food.
Always.
We know that you only want the best for your small dog, which is why Hills has developed expert, science-backed nutrition to meet the unique needs of small dogs and help them live their best lives across their longer lifespans. Hills Pet Nutrition. Science does more.
Sunday, 26 July, join FNB and the entire Joburg to walk for the people, for the people. This year, you get to wander through the heart of Joburg, experiencing positive and great impact, cleanup efforts, resilience, making Joburg unique. Great things happen when people come together for good. 702, Josie, my Josie, walk the talk in proud partnership with FNB.
702
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
Time now for the world of viral content. Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Bella.
Let's talk jealousy.
Think about it. What are you jealous of when it comes to other people? And we're not talking about nasty jealousy or anything like that, right? So there's a podcast, Working It Out, and it's hosted by Mike Birbiglia. And he had the guy on his show called Bob Odenkirk. Very cool guy. He was on Better Call Saul, if you've seen that show. And he asked him, what are you jealous of?
Who are you jealous of?
Anybody who's still got little kids at home growing up.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no question I knew what I was doing when I had kids growing up.
Yeah.
I was being a dad. I mean, that was my job. And I didn't have to ask myself, what am I doing here? What am I doing? How can I be a part of this world? How can I be meaningful today?
Yeah.
I didn't have to ask that question because the answer is pick up everything between here and the door.
Yeah, that's right.
And make sure they get to school and have a laugh with them.
Yeah.
And, life was, I understood my purpose.
Best answer.
Very sweet answer, hey? But if I had to ask you, who are you jealous of?
The phone.
The phone?
Yeah. If I'm
Why?
spending time with you or you, the significant other, don't be on your phone all the time. You're here to see me. You're here to spend time with me. I don't want to compete with the phone.
Yeah, no, that's if you do that to me, I just stop talking and look at you. And that's it. Yeah,
that's the thing. Don't be on your phone.
I'm jealous of people who still have their parents.
Ooh, Kabazela.
Yeah, deep one.
Ooh.
And countries or teams who are going to the last 16.
Just less, yes. Just less, Kabazela. From that emotive, deep thought.
I know. I didn't want to leave it on a deep.
You might also be jealous of people who actually win their leagues. Hey, Kabazela.
Yes.
Asikalapo. It's 8 o'clock and time for the latest EWN.
This is EWN.
Firoz Khan's family wants justice after he was shot in Houghton, and hundreds of Malawians remain stuck in Sandton waiting to be repatriated. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The family of Crime Intelligence Senior Officer Firoz Khan says those responsible for his shooting must pay. Khan was shot near his home in Houghton last night. The circumstances surrounding the shooting remain unclear, but EWN understands that a white Mercedes believed to have been carrying the shooters was involved. Alfara Mushwana was at the scene just an hour after the shooting.
A quiet suburb of Houghton was shaken by the sound of gunshots late last night after Crime Intelligence Senior Officer Firoz Khan was allegedly shot. EWN spoke to a man who says he discovered Khan moments after the shooting, saying he found the officer with gunshot wounds to his lower body. Meanwhile, at Mill Park Hospital, where Khan is receiving treatment, his uncle, Pregi Periachi, says those behind the attack must be held accountable.
We don't know anything. You know, we just came in here. Yeah. I just came in with you, and that's what I can tell you. But as a family, how are you feeling? It's part of life, eh? Yeah. We have to see what happens from there.
Khan is scheduled to testify at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry on Wednesday following several allegations of corruption. Alpha Ramshwana,
urgent application for direct access and leave to appeal a High Court judgment that dismissed a bid to remove Judge Sisi Khampepe as chairperson of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission Cases Inquiry. Former Presidents Jacob Zuma and Thabo Mbeki's review application was dismissed by the Johannesburg High Court in March. The majority judgment found the court lacked jurisdiction to hear the matter because the applicants failed to comply with Section 47 of the Superior Courts Act before instituting legal proceedings against a judge. Demakaso Leshoro reports.
Judge Sisi Khampepe's legal team, led by now acting Constitutional Court Judge Thembeka Itobi, successfully argued before a full bench of the Johannesburg High Court that the review application was not properly placed before the court. The majority of the court agreed, finding it lacked jurisdiction to consider the merits of the case. The court found that Zuma and Mbeki failed to comply with Section 47(1) of the Superior Courts Act, which requires the Chief Justice's consent before civil proceedings may be instituted against a judge. Before the Constitutional Court, the former presidents are relying heavily on a dissenting judgment by Judge Mudiba, who found that Section 47 did not apply in these circumstances and considered the merits of the case. Judge Mudiba concluded that Khampepe's decision not to recuse herself was unlawful because it was taken by her alone rather than by the 3-member commission. Dimakaza Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
The Malawian government is yet to respond to the plight of hundreds of its nationals seeking repatriation from Johannesburg. Nearly 400 people spent the weekend outside the Malawian Consulate General in Sandton, hoping for assistance ahead of tomorrow's protests against illegal immigrants. Mongezi Koko reports.
Dozens of men, women and children arrived with their belongings on Saturday and Sunday, hoping to receive guidance or transport home. However, the consulate remained closed throughout the weekend, with those gathered saying they received no communication from Malawian officials about when or whether they would be assisted. The gathering follows days of repatriation efforts that have already seen thousands of Malawian nationals leave South Africa amid anti-illegal immigration protests in parts of the country.
Safe because you see now the situation is not right in Joburg. Now we run away from our areas, different areas. We are here to look for help. We are sleeping outside the fence like this, the way you see. For this situation, because during the night is too much cold here.
As the 30 June deadline approaches, many say they remain in limbo, still waiting for their government to provide clarity on their return home. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News, Sandton.
And Europe's deadly heatwave has pushed east with hundreds of millions still sweltering across the continent. The heat remained intense across Central and Eastern Europe, with the Czech Republic, Hungary and Poland hit hard as temperatures soared and records fell yesterday. At least 191 million Europeans were expected to face temperatures above 30 degrees during the day. The World Health Organization says it has recorded more than 1,300 fatalities in Europe since earlier this month. Gold is trading at $4,090.26 an ounce. The rand is at 16.99 to the dollar, 22.42 to the pound, 19.34 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $72.45 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident reported on the M1 North. It happened right near Ethel Oaklands. It's causing heavy delays from the Kilani Bends. There's also queuing traffic in Bedford View on the N3 North between Van Buren Road and the Gilulis interchange due to roadworks.
And in your sport, Bafana knocked out the World Cup by Canada. Tonight, Brazil plays Japan, Germany against Paraguay. Tomorrow morning, Morocco against Netherlands. The Proteas women will play England in the T20 World Cup semi-final on Thursday. And Wimbledon opens today. On centre court will be Sinner, Sabalenka and Djokovic.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 20 and 22 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. The family of crime intelligence senior officer Firoz Khan says those responsible for his shooting must pay.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
On Sunday, 26 July, 7:02 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk unites us all in the iconic Joburg CBD.
7:02 Walk the Talk.
Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
How are you feeling about tomorrow? It's a big day, the planned action supposedly against illegal immigrants. But what does that even mean? Who's documented and who is not? Do you know the number of South Africans who themselves don't have documents? How will this end? I watched some visuals on Carte Blanche last night, and it just still looks menacing, does it not? The acting police minister, Feroz Kashan, saying law enforcement efforts are going to continue beyond to just tomorrow. He says tomorrow is only the beginning of the work they have to do.
We call on all organisers and participants to work with law enforcement to ensure that the day proceeds peacefully and responsibly. South Africans are engaged in an important conversation about the terms of migration to our republic. That is a conversation that we are also having with the peoples and leaders of our continent. The government is listening and responding to the concerns of our people. An IMC, an interministerial committee, has been established under the leadership of Minister Kubai to strengthen immigration management and border controls.
That is, of course, the acting police minister, Feroz Kashan. Former DA leader John Steenhuisen has been singing like a canary. He says he was let down. He was promised that if he steps down as leader of the party, he could focus his entire energy on the foot and mouth disease debacle. He was speaking to News 24's Adrian Basson, and he says that he's been fed to the mob. He had particular words to say for his mentor, former leader Tony Leon, and his PR company Resolve Communications. Just close your eyes for a moment as you listen to this exchange. Imagine this was an ANC minister saying these things.
So a company chaired by a former DA leader and led by a former DA CEO were quite pivotal in criticizing you and your chief of staff?
Well, absolutely, yeah. And relentlessly driving public narratives around FMD and the like, yeah.
Did this surprise you?
It did surprise me somewhat. I was quite shocked when I found out that Resolve was doing this, given the fact that Resolve themselves had regularly approached me as a minister to meet with their clients and to try and assist their clients with issues and problems or policy changes that they would like to see. And I had obviously interacted with Resolve on a number of occasions, and to then see them driving this narrative and complaint, particularly when the godfather of my daughter and chairs the company, and Paul Bowie was the former CEO of the company, former CEO of the DA, is the CEO of the company. It was quite surprising to me.
In isiXhosa we say andiva zindevu, which I can't translate into English. What does that mean? My beard prevents me from hearing. Huh? The former leader of the DA, Tony Leon, the godfather to John Steenhuisen's daughter, he feels aggrieved, does Steenhuisen, because how could my mentor, the godfather to my kids, do this? After he used his PR company to give high-level access to politicians who had issues or problems they wanted to resolve, even policy changes. Huh? Okay, now you can open your eyes. Imagine if an ANC minister was saying that.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Amo Muteo Kabazela wants to know in a non-toxic way, what are you jealous of? I said the phone. If you're coming to visit me, we're spending time. Get off your phone. Who are you talking to? Why aren't you with those people?
I'm taking pictures.
Yeah, that I can see you're doing something. But if you're just on your phone, you know, or even if I'm driving in the car and you want to pick up phone calls. Hi, Mtase, all right?
The whole way.
So now I must listen to, no, get off your phone. Amo?
I'm jealous of people who don't have to pay school fees.
Yeah, aren't we all? Muteo?
For me, it's people with leave days. I'm very, very jealous of those.
and people who
touchy subjects
unrealistically have their lives together. Like everything is just in place. They just have it together. They've planned things way in advance. They don't have debt. Everything is just.
And they're younger than you.
And they're younger than you.
Good morning, 702. I am jealous of anyone who hasn't watched shows like Desperate Housewives and Grey's Anatomy ever. You know when a show is so good that you wish you were seeing it again for the first time. I know rewatching it's not hitting the same, even though you still enjoy it. But anyone who has not watched those shows before, I'm so jealous that when they do, or if they ever do, they will be experiencing the goodness of those shows for the very first time.
Morning, Bongs. Yo, Kabazela just took the words out of my mouth. I was about to answer the question to myself in my car, in my heart, because you don't really say things like that out loud. But I am so jealous of people that still have their parents, like both parents or even one parent. I am so jealous. But I always say, treat your parents well, look after your parents, because you just never know when time is going to be up.
Yeah, hey? People who still have both their parents.
Sure, Bongs. And you see, in terms of Bafana, I can see what Bafana was trying to do. They were trying to take the game to the penalties. Unfortunately, Canada just got that one chance, and that's all they needed. So, yeah, other than that, though, well done to the boys. At least they tried. At least they had a strategy. Didn't work, but yeah, at least they tried. They put everything they could out there. So, well done to them. Well done.
Kabelo Makeke would have certainly been watching that closely. Standard Bank head of personal and private banking. Standard Bank, of course, being major sponsors for Bafana Bafana. Kabelo, you would have obviously watched the game. How are you feeling this morning about Bafana Bafana?
Good morning, Bongani, and good morning to your listeners. I'm feeling very proud of the team. Despite the loss, I'm really, really proud.
I mean, look, it was always going to be an emotional journey, a roller coaster. They flattered to deceive, did they?
Yeah, no. But I think Bongani, this is the best result ever for us in an international tournament like the World Cup. I still think the guys, they did have a strategy. It didn't work, but I think they did their best to hold the team till the last minute. They had the biggest support because they're quite close to the U.S. So for me, I'm still proud of them. I think if I can tell you, I was at the opening game with Mexico. I could see how that crowd intimidates the teams. But I think here they held their own, and I'm still really, really proud of them.
The difficulty, of course, is on paper, you could say, yeah, we might have been able to see Canada through. And who knows, if Morocco were next, we might have been able to do that too. I mean, imagine if we'd gone all the way to the semis, hey?
Yes, seriously, I actually thought we had a very good chance. I know that in the next round it might be Morocco or the Netherlands, but I still believed in the team and I still believe in them. I still think for me, it was one of those where I really thought last night we were going to clinch it. I think, but it's just one of those. One mistake in the World Cup, that's what happened.
And that's how it goes. Why is it important for you to invest in the national football team?
It's really important. You can see how united the country is for us. That's what we love to see. And I think in the next 4 years, we'll be helping build the team for the 2030 World Cup. And that's what our focus is going to be. And we're going to focus more on the grassroots level type events as well. I think for me, we still stand a chance to actually show what South Africans are made of. And I think we'll do that. And that's why we're investing in this.
So Standard Bank's colors are green and gold, hey?
Yes, for now.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, I can see. You tried to teach me there, but you love the colors. Thank you.
Absolutely. Kabelo Makeke, Standard Bank head of personal and private banking, a sponsor, of course, of Bafana Bafana at the World Cup.
EWN traffic.
This EWN traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. That crash on the R21, Amo.
Bongani, it's right near Atlas Road at this moment. It's not causing heavy delays, but please be on the lookout for it. This is in the Kempton Park area. While traveling on the Mark 1 North, we've got that accident in the Melrose area. It happened right near Apple Oakland's. Delays from the Killarney Bends. There's also queuing traffic along the N3 North in the Bedford View area between Van Buren and the Kilulis interchange due to roadworks. We'll have more coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance pointsmen get traffic flowing smoothly because when you're late for your flight, you're frazzled, you forget your passport, and, well, you know how that goes. Well, fortunately, with the Outsurance pointsmen easing congestion for the past 20 years, everyone gets to where they need to be quickly and safely. It's just another way you always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Sporting Bet's Millionaires Cup is live, and your shot at up to 10 million Rand is on the line. A pass, a tackle, a strike. Moments make the game. This one could make you. Take on a series of thrilling missions and climb your way to millionaire status with every stage of the tournament. Bet now at sportingbet.co.za. Could you be our next millionaire? Sporting Bet. Betting amplified. T's and C's apply. Sporting Bet is licensed by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No under 18s may gamble. WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710 or contact the SARGF toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008. Winners know when to stop.
Do you dream of inspiring young minds as a qualified teacher? Whether you're just starting your journey, looking to advance your career, or are already a teacher wanting to upgrade your qualifications, SANS can help. As a registered private higher education institution, SANS offers accredited, affordable distance teaching qualifications with full support every step of the way. Visit sans.co.za today and take your first step towards becoming a teacher.
Every small business that dares to disrupt the industry deserves a shot at leveling up. Thanks to Nedbank Business Ignite on 702.
Well, as you know, of course, Nedbank Business Ignite with 702, recognizing, rewarding small businesses solving real problems because they've lived them. We've asked businesses to enter Nedbank Business Ignite with 702. 200,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. They'll get mentorship, national exposure, and support beyond banking with Simply Biz. As always, of course, we've got our founder and director of Mint Fresh Technology Solutions, our mentor, Thuli Makubane. Good morning to you, Thuli.
Good morning, Bongani, and good morning to the listeners.
How are you about the football, hey?
Yeah,
Ish
no,
sang.
it was said. You know, there's so many good opportunities that we missed, but anyway.
I suppose it's rather like business, because that's exactly what we're talking about today. Today's business saw a missed opportunity.
Most definitely. So today's business OM support saw an opportunity that a lot of small businesses, yet again, don't get taken seriously by larger companies and are not prioritized when it comes to services. And so that's where the gap was. And it's a very unique industry. You know, people do dairy packaging and all of that use unique machines. So you need someone who's got the technical know-how, even the spares and the parts for that. And so this is where the opportunity came in to actually start a business that actually started off just supporting small dairies, small companies, and then over time, even the larger companies like the Clovers and Danone now actually
came knocking.
Yes.
All right. Tobani Mkwanazi, of course, is the brains behind OEM Support Solutions. So, Tobani, I understand you worked for 4 years working for a supplier that supports the food and beverage industry with processing and packing. But you noticed they weren't paying too much attention to the smaller guys.
Yes, that's correct, Bongani. Good morning, Bongani, Sistuli, and the listeners. So we saw the gap in the market as we were service engineers with a system supplier. It's a Swedish company. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to reveal the name.
No. Don't do that.
So we, as then engineers, decided to be able to go and support this market, where we targeted first the small and the medium dairy and the beverage producers. So this is where we started OEM Support Solutions, where we started servicing the small end of the dairy market. But as you plan, God plans better. The bigger corporate companies, as Usistuli has said, your Clovers of this world, Danones of this world, Fresh of this world responded. And they also then needed our services.
So every time I open maybe a Danone yogurt, you might have something to do with the container out of which I'm consuming it.
The long life is where the milk and the
Ah.
custard, your beverages, which are your fruit-free juices, your series juices. That's the market that we play in.
I can taste the difference. I mean, how vindicating was it for you that you initially saw a gap for the smaller players, but you offered such a compelling service that even the bigger players came knocking on your door, and essentially you ended up, I would argue, competing with your former employer?
Very much so. You couldn't have put it the right way, Bongani. What was more vindicating for me is that usually our kind of business, we are considered to be given opportunities based on the PEE, triple PEE. But this time, the market realized the quality of the hand that we have in the market. You know, the reason why I'm pulling OEM services is because I could see that if big brands, big corporates can be able to pull you in and be able to have a long, sustained relationship. I mean, these big brands, we started relationships as early as 2018. We're still in those relationships.
Even now, going the distance.
Yes.
All right, Tuli, I mean, this is obviously a good business. People are recognizing it, and even the industry is playing along.
Most definitely. And, you know, as we said, I mean, I guess so many times that identify a problem and offer a solution that is great enough for people to actually spend money. And Tabani and his team actually did that. And we're looking forward to hearing more businesses this week. It is our final week, and we've got some really interesting ones coming up.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, Tabani, you're well packaged.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Very much. Thanks very much.
Unintended.
Good luck. That is, of course, Nedbank Business Ignite on 702.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
Catching up with news from elsewhere in the world. It was one of the big stories last week. Adam Gilchrist, the earthquake in Venezuela. In fact, two earthquakes in Venezuela. I saw some of the rescue footage. It really looks quite something.
Oh, my word, the tangled wreckage that these teams are having to go through. In some cases, I mean, we talk about teams, in some cases, just people, neighbors, family, friends, who are desperately scrabbling through rubble looking for survivors. We've had two miracle survival stories, or arguably three even, two 11-year-old boys found separately, a video footage of a boy named Moises being pulled out of some twisted debris, and then we had the president, Delcy Rodriguez, announcing another 11-year-old boy being rescued and posted a video of him coming out of this huge mound of wreckage. Plus we had a mother and child also pulled out alive. And now here we are 5 days on. Obviously, time is against those who are buried under these collapsed buildings. And we're talking thousands of collapsed buildings, and not just in the capital, Caracas, but across many towns and cities in Venezuela. These two earthquakes in quick succession have certainly left their mark. And we know the official death toll is around about 1,450, but there are tens of thousands of people missing. With disasters, often people go missing because, after all, they don't have a home to be checked off. They can't go to an official shelter. They're literally trying to survive somewhere. So sometimes people are just off grid, as it were. But frankly, there will be a fair number of those tens of thousands who are also dead. And so therefore, hope might flicker, but it is also fading.
I'm vengeance, famously said Batman. Adam Gilchrist, how do you say that in Mexican?
I have no idea. Thanks for putting me on the spot with my Mexican/Spanish.
Oh, there you go.
But yes, this vigilante, known as Batman to some, he's written one word on the foreheads of those he's been rounding up, ratero, meaning thief. And he's done this by duct taping alleged bike thieves to posts, lampposts, telegraph poles, that sort of stuff. And there's a comical photo of two of them back to back, duct taped around it, waiting for police to arrive. So this guy is basically carrying out a one-man vigilante campaign trying to catch motorbike thieves. He's struck 5 times so far around Jalisco, the province of Jalisco. One man was left blooded and bruised in the act of being duct taped to a post. So local police say they're having to treat the duct tape men as victims rather than villains at this stage, and an investigation's underway to find out who this mystery suspect is. We don't think he's wearing a mask, although that would complete the outfit. I'm sure he's in a cape. But the stolen bikes do suggest that there perhaps are more villains than victims, but I guess they want to get to the bottom of it.
Indeed, they might. Donald Trump and his latest vanity project, forget legacy.
Yeah, so this is the US passport, which is going to have a special 250th birthday edition with a picture of Donald Trump on it, his fists on the resolute desk. He's got that solid, sulky expression, maybe arguably less sulky than usual. The bottom lip isn't completely sticking out. The Declaration of Independence is in the background, Donald Trump's signatures below. And on Truth Social, Donald Trump says the passport is saying welcome, but be good. It doesn't actually officially say that, but that's the president's take on it. He's to become the first living president to have his signature on banknotes. They're coming out in a week or two. The US Mint is planning a commemorative Donald Trump gold coin. The man himself wants an Arc de Trump, like an Arc de Triomphe, he says, only better. The famous Kennedy Center had the Trump name inserted, only for a federal judge to dename it and have the Trump name removed. Anyone want to tell Mr. President that vanity projects are quickly erased? Just think of previous commanders-in-chief.
For me, it's the welcome but be good on the passports, which tells you he may not understand how those documents work. Adam Gilchrist with this morning's World View.
EWN Business.
All right, let's talk Chrome, Muteo. A power agreement with Eskom reached.
Yeah, the Glencore Merafe Chrome venture says it has successfully concluded the detailed terms and conditions of the negotiated pricing agreement with Eskom. The company has negotiated a cheaper price at 62 cents per kilowatt hour to help restart its idle smelters. Now, local smelters have been threatening to close operations because of high tariff increases from Eskom that have made doing business very, very expensive. Now, Glencore Merafe says the conclusion of the agreement enables the restart of its Boshoek and Wonderkoop smelters, marking a critical step in stabilizing and rebuilding the venture's smelting operations. Earlier this year, more than 2,400 workers faced retrenchment after Glencore Merafe Chrome venture and Samanco pressed ahead with Section 189 notices. They have been complaining about these higher prices and making it difficult to do business.
All right, we saw tit-for-tat strikes between the US and Iran over the weekend. How have the markets responded?
Well, we've seen the price of oil, Bongani, fluctuate this morning because of those tit-for-tat strikes between the US and Iran. Price of oil initially going up to $72 a barrel, but it's since gone down by 1.5% again. This, of course, bodes well for the motorists in the country who have been struggling with those diesel and petrol prices. But the rand at this hour, 16 rand 44 cents against the US dollar, 18 rand 73 against the euro, 21 rand 72 cents against the British pound. The rand struggling a little bit this morning. The price of gold at $4,059 an ounce is down more than 0.5%, while platinum is up marginally at $1,615. Brent crude is now down more than 1% at $72 a barrel. Stephen Krotis with more this afternoon.
Time for latest eyewitness news. And don't forget, coming up in this next half an hour, we speak to the great Don Laga. Sfisa Zulu, in the meantime, what do you have?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The South African Police Service has launched a high-level investigation into the shooting of suspended crime intelligence boss Firoz Khan. EWN understands that Khan was attacked near his Houghton home last night. The shooting comes 3 days before he's expected to testify at the Matlanga Commission of Inquiry about corruption allegations against him. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate says the political killings task team will also be roped in to investigate the attack.
This investigation is being led by the Gauteng Hawks, Crime Intelligence and the SAPS Detective Service. Lieutenant General Timpani has further directed that the Political Killings Task Team be incorporated into the investigation to ensure that every possible lead is pursued and that those responsible are brought to book.
Mate has urged the public not to spread false information about the shooting.
While SAPS is aware of public speculation regarding the timing of the attack, it is premature and irresponsible to speculate on any possible motive or to conclude that the incident is linked to his anticipated appearance before the Commission.
The Gauteng Education Department has raised the alarm over alleged fraud that some service providers may have misrepresented their fleets while putting learners' lives at risk. The department says the alleged abuse has seen some pupils overloaded into cars and some even arriving late at school. Mongezi Koko reports.
The findings show some contractors are allegedly operating with fewer vehicles than they declared when they were awarded tenders. The department says this has created a gap between what government is paying for and the service learners are actually receiving. It has announced that scholar transport inspections, routine verification, vehicle audits and compliance checks will now be intensified. Education MEC Lebogang Maile.
There is prima facie evidence that some service providers misrepresent the quality, quantity and conditions of vehicles used to transport learners.
The department says any service provider found to have overloaded learners, operated unroadworthy vehicles or manipulated contracts will face termination of their contracts and referred to law enforcement. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News.
More than 2,000 undocumented Zimbabwean nationals have spent the weekend at the Home Affairs Department's Repatriation Centre in Cape Town. They were repatriated, or rather transported, by the city of Cape Town to the centre after spending several nights on the pavement outside the Zimbabwean consulate. Gift of the Givers Ali Sable says there's frustration because the Zimbabweans had been under the impression that the repatriation centre would issue them with travel documents.
Now we're sitting with a bigger dilemma. The people who are here, once they are done being processed, where do they go to from here? Home Affairs do not have the capacity or do not have the mandate to accommodate these people. The Zimbabwean consulate is trying to get an accommodation that can accommodate 2,000 people, as Home Affairs has made it clear that they have already have bookings of close to 800 people tomorrow on Monday morning.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 20 and 22 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 North. This is just as you approach Corlett Drive. That's due to an accident. And then there's also roadworks that are taking place along the N3 North, causing delays coming out of Van Buren Road.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs of 20 and 22 degrees. And the top story in EWN this hour. Police have launched a high-level investigation into the shooting of suspended crime intelligence boss Feroz Khan.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know.
My Josie Walk the Talk. Sunday, 26 July, FNB will be walking with you because FNB believes that help does start on the ground. People coming together for good. So join FNB on this walk through the iconic Joburg CBD. Witness a city on the move. Experience the collective action helping shape a cleaner, safer Joburg. And rediscover the revitalized energy that makes this city unique. Enter now at primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with FNB.
Yes! It's DecoFern's birthday sale. So, with 15 to 40% off and more, then technically, this $12.99 Josie dining chair is $17.19 for free. Free!
Honey, that's not how maths works.
It's birthday maths. Celebrate our birthday in-store or at decofurnsa.co.za with 15 to 40% and more off absolutely everything. DecoFern birthday maths. Don't question it, just save. T's and C's apply.
What is your business here?
You didn't start your business to play it safe. You took the leap
made the bold move, and now it's time to make the next one. Next week, 702 and Budget Business Insurance are giving small businesses the chance to win their share of 100,000 Rand with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza. Enter on primemediaplus.com. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one will be. Then get an obligation-free Budget Business Insurance quote. 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa could call you. Budget Insurance is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Morning, Bongs and the team. Well, I am quite jealous of people who works from home, especially during this winter season. Man, people who goes for jogs at 7 and takes walks at 8 o'clock and starts work at 9 o'clock.
I wouldn't say I'm jealous of, but I'd love to work towards the same goal as people who are currently living off the grid.
Good morning, Bongani. I'm jealous of people who can swim, including my own children.
Good morning, Bongani. I'm so jealous of any girl who has a relationship with her mother. Like, I so wish I had a relationship with my mother. Yes, she's alive. Other people are wishing their parents would be alive, but I so wish I had a relationship with my mother.
Ooh, that one cuts to the bone, right? Many who are sending us these voice notes wishing they still had both parents. It's much harder to think about when your parent is still there, but your relationship is strained. I think that's a really, really difficult one, because when you had a good relationship and they're no longer there, there's not much you can do. But the pity is watching and knowing that your parent is still alive, but knowing that the relationship is perhaps beyond repair. At times, all you do is you tolerate each other.
Morning, Mr. Bongles. Kumaran here from Pretoria. Look, congratulations to Bafana. I don't think so. We expected them to reach the round of 32. However, saying that, I think the tactics yesterday was determined on what happened to the results. We've seen snippets of the positivity that Bafana can show and how they can break down teams. So yeah, I think they let it slip there. They should have been more positive and play the Bafana way, and I think we would have won this game. Thank you, Mr. Bongles. Bye-bye.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, it just wasn't to be, was it? Just wasn't to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just saying how it was really similar to the performance in the opening game against Mexico. And I think we were very buoyed and very excited by what we saw against Czechia, by what we saw against South Korea. So I think it's a lot of disappointment as well. It would have been lekker to wake up this morning.
Oh, we'd be mad.
Oh, it would be amazing.
We would be absolutely insane.
It would be amazing. But anyway, Bafana striker Tebogo Mokoena says the side's devastated after being knocked out of the World Cup to Canada, who scored the only goal of the game in the 92nd minute. Mokoena says they've learned a lot.
At the highest level, the margins are fairly small. When you get your chances, you must convert your chances. So they didn't get many chances. They got one and then they scored. So that's the lesson we must take going forward. Must be clinical.
The round of 32 continues tonight at 7 with Brazil against Japan, and then at 10:30 Germany plays Paraguay. Tomorrow morning at 3, Morocco's battling the Netherlands for a chance to face Canada in the last 16. Proteas women have kept the country's hopes alive, though. They've secured a place in the T20 World Cup semi-final. They beat Bangladesh by 4 wickets and made it thanks to Australia beating India. Captain Laura Wolfart's in a dip of form. She went for a duck yesterday.
I think obviously coming into this tournament I was feeling really good, so kind of annoyed to have lost it along the way a little bit. I think I may be just trying to force it a little bit too much, not letting the ball quite come to me and play my normal game and my normal timing like I should. But yeah, hopefully some rhythm comes back, but feeling alright in the nets. I think just need 1 or 2 shots to go my way and then I think I'll be back.
Proteas women's semi-finals against England on Thursday. Tomorrow, Australia plays the West Indies. In the men's game, England 4 wickets down and need another 270 to beat New Zealand on the final day of the third test. It's England captain Ben Stokes' last match as he's announced his retirement. Wimbledon opens today. Yannick Sinner is on centre court against Kemanovic. Here's the world number 1.
Every year is different. I try to have, as much confidence as possible, in my shots and in my abilities, and the first rounds, they're always going to be very tough. I know that mentally, so we are preparing ourselves in the best possible way.
After that, Sabalenka against Kostovic, and lastly, Djokovic against Wu. To answer your earlier question, Bongani.
Yes.
Serena Williams opens
So
tomorrow.
for anyone who missed it,
Oh, yes.
I was curious because she's a wild card.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, Serena at the peak of her powers, obvious center court. But I thought, what are they going to do with a wild card?
Tomorrow.
Yes.
What are they going to do with the wild card?
Center court.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's where all the cameras are.
It's Serena.
What is the biggest talking point of Wimbledon?
And I will be watching.
1,000%. I'd like to know who they bumped off centre court. Will they tell that person? After Sinner today, you've got Sabalenka against Kostovic and lastly Djokovic against Wu. So those are the centre court games. And in Formula One, George Russell won in Australia ahead of Verstappen and championship leader Antonelli. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
702 Josie Walk the Talk is calling on you. Walk with the people on Sunday, 26 July. 3 different inner city routes. So whether you're taking on 15, 5 kilometers or 8 kilometers, enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Johannesburg.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the city of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Bamise bonke.
When you're walking 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk on Sunday, the 26th of July, keep your eyes open. Mazda is bringing wonder to the 8-kilometer route. There'll be 5 Mazda Wonder experiences. There'll be a piano performance, a world of color, a bubble field, and listen to this, a Japanese garden in the middle of the Joburg CBD. That's a wonder, is it not? Visit the Mazda Wonder Hub. One of 5 of the hubs, of course, and then capture your wonder moment on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Tag and follow at Mazda SA, and you could win your share of 50,000 Rand, 50,000 bucks. That's a wonder. Mazda, where wonder awaits.
At the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, snap and share all 5 Mazda Wonder experiences using hashtag MazdaSA to stand a chance to win a share of 50,000 Rand. EWN Traffic.
16 minutes before 9 o'clock. Amor, let's wrap up the morning's traffic.
Well, Bongani, most routes have cleared off traffic, but we have delays on the N3 South approaching the Kilulis interchange. That's due to an accident. Delays from Linksfield Road. There's also a bit of a hold-up on the Marquand North. This is heading towards Melrose due to another accident scene. It's causing delays coming out of the Kilani Bends. And then, of course, we've got some issues on the N1 North approaching the Baku interchange. That's due to a car stuck on the road in the Sunning Hill area. We'll have more updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Got a bright spark between 10 and 13 at home? Well, why don't you get them ready for the Whiz Quiz here on 702 Breakfast? We've got 10 questions, 10 chances, and 10,000 Rand waiting to be won. Every right answer bags 100 bucks, but if you nail them all and you score the full 10 out of 10, you will score 10,000 Rand. Sign your little ones up now on primemediaplus.com and then catch the Whiz Quiz every morning on 702 to hear if your young genius will take part, turning their brains into bucks. Because smart kids win big on 702.
In fitness, as in finance, endurance is key. If you're 55 and older, you can get an interest rate of up to 10.25% with a Nedbank Electronic Optimum Plus account. Now, feel the earn. Invest within 2 minutes on the Money app and get money fit with Nedbank. See money differently. Nedbank, we're a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. For more info, go to nedbank.co.za.
Every day, something shifts. A rate decision, a currency move, a headline that changes everything, until tomorrow's does. Change is constant, and for us, that's not a problem to manage. It's where opportunity lives. For 35 years, we've navigated it to seek out the best opportunities for you, wherever they may be. Change is opportunity. We're always ready to invest in it. 91, investing for a world of change. 91 is an authorized FSP.
Do you have a car you like to sell, but don't trust your uncle or your pal? Then we buy cars, it's just for you. Buying cars is what we do. We offer service with a smile. We always go the extra mile. Use a place that you trust and sell your car to us.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
What is your business here? You didn't start your business to play it safe. You took the leap, made the bold move, and now it's time to make the next one. Next week, 702 and Budget Business Insurance are giving small businesses the chance to win their share of 100,000 Rand with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza. Enter on PrimeMediaPlus.com. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one will be. Then get an obligation-free Budget Business Insurance quote. 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa could call you. Budget Insurance is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Clement Manyatela between 9 and 12, talking to us, of course, from our Cape Town studios. Clement, a very good morning to you. I hope you had a good weekend.
Good morning.
What are you thinking for the show?
So we will start with, of course, the breaking news around Feroz Khan, the crime intelligence boss who was shot last night. So we'll speak about that. Because it's actually quite scary when I saw the news last night, Bongani, that, I mean, are we living in a gangster state here where whenever there are, in other cases, people who are going to testify and may or may not reveal too much, or when there are people who are expected to testify, then we see these attempts on their lives, or in Brown Bokhosi's context, an attempt, or what do you call it, a fake attempt on their lives. So that's what we'll talk about, reflecting on Feroz Khan's so-called attempted assassination so far, because we still don't have much information. We'll also have a conversation about what John Steenhuisen told News 24. Quite interesting how he's describing the decision by Jordan Hill Lewis. But what's more interesting to me, I guess, is around the involvement of Tony Leon using his company. Can you imagine if it was the former ANC leaders who did that? Would the DA be okay with that?
I said that about less than an hour ago as I played some of that exchange. For me, it was the fact that he, in his own words there, John says, not only did Tony Leon facilitate these high-level access to politicians, but it was also because around problems and even policy changes.
Yeah. Starlink.
Influence peddling, it's called.
Yeah. So that's what we will talk about on the open line. At 10:30, though, we'll continue with our series looking at Johannesburg entities. And the focus today is on the Johannesburg Social Housing Company, JOSCO. And then we wrap up the show at 11 o'clock with our Family Matters feature. Today we're discussing how families can build and sustain generational wealth.
Clement Manyatela between 9 and 12.
Hi South Africa, I'm Michael Owen. If you appreciate world-class sport and a great occasion, the Hollywood Bets Durban July is the place to be. The theme for 2026 is Country Allure, which sees the rustic style of the countryside meet the cosmopolitan cool of the city. On Saturday the 4th of July, it all comes together at Hollywood Bets Greyville, Africa's greatest horse racing and social event. I'll see you there.
When Joburg comes together for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, Sunday, 26 July, FNB will be there because they do believe in people coming together for good. So FNB will be there on this walk through the iconic CBD. Experience the collective action helping to shape a cleaner, safer Joburg. Enter now at PrimeMediaPlus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with Standard Bank.
it was actually a flawless process.
It definitely pays to switch.
I wish we had done it sooner.
Outsurance business insurance clients know that it pays to switch. And did you know, when you claim, your excess is a fixed amount, not a percentage of the claim. For beauty salons, convenience stores, and all other businesses. Get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Gosh, you run out of superlatives when it comes to describing our next guest. A pioneer, a boundary pusher. From destiny to supernova, returning to Joburg's intimate basement stage. Not just as a performer, but as a keeper of memory. A storyteller, weaving words, music, and sound. The 5th of July, 2026. Come and be drawn into a rare encounter, a night where beloved classics will meet new sounds from the upcoming album. Praton Laga, live at the basement. Joins us now. Always a pleasure to have you on our show, Praton. Good morning.
Morning, Monks. Morning, Monks. Thanks for having me once again.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, you and I have spoken, of course, about your musical journey. I suppose as you prepare for a performance like this, what stands out the most for you?
I mean, the most important thing, that you recall that this just happened about a month ago, and I'm going back there to public demand. I have to up my game this time again, so that there should be another public demand. So we prepare, more material. Actually, we'll be giving them, the audience some sneak review of the new album that's coming. So, that the band is super excited now that, since now we understand the mood of the venue. And we thought this time let's prepare even much better than what we had the last time.
I mean, obviously music is a passion for you, but how important is it that it's also, in a sense, your life's calling?
As you said, life calling. I mean, I haven't done anything else except music since 6, and recording made at age of 14, and been in the music industry for almost 54 years this year. And it's just been only that. I know nothing else except music. So if you put me into another, I don't know, another place, I wouldn't exist. So, and I have learned to live this life and share it with people. Because as an artist, one thing that you do is that your feelings are always poured into what you do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, one of my pet peeves, if you will, it really annoys me, and I'm all for uplifting young people, by the way, but there's also a thought in South Africa that, we need to make space as the older generation. We need to let younger people come through. The fact that you've been doing it for 54 years, I think, means you're a veteran of the industry. You're a veteran musician. What keeps you going? What keeps you having the energy to keep going, particularly when it comes to creating? Where do you still find inspiration? As I said, a month ago I was there. So the inspiration comes from the people. And the more the people, ask, request the older music, it makes me, more energetic to bring even more, so that they should ask for the later ones and the older ones. And, I think that being in the industry for so many years, I've learned to live a different life of an artist who always wants to innovate. For instance, the new album,
I thought we'll have 16 tracks. Now I've added more. It's going to have 24 tracks with different collaborations. So that's the motivation for me.
Tell me, which artist no longer with us do you regret most not working with?
Alan Coela.
Ah.
Yeah,
and
it was a great. And we were planning to do that. Actually, it's not even the only person. Kapotula. Some of them that I didn't have. Though I worked with him when they were with the band Sankomota, but we were planning to do some solo album for him. Yeah.
And which artist have you been really, really proud you had a chance to work with?
Humasika.
Of course. I mean, you are inspired by the legends, Abdullah Ibrahim, Philip Tabane.
Yeah.
How did their music...
Abdullah, I haven't written anything about Abdullah. I've got stories, to tell about Abdullah. I was shocked of his death, so I haven't even actually paid tribute to him because we were, I would say we're close because he would just, out of the blue, just pick up the phone and just call me. That was like the type of relationship.
What would you talk about?
We would talk music and we'd talk about cosmology. He was into that, We'd talk because I love cosmology, and we'd talk about that. So that was that. And the thing that I met him in the...
Oh, Pradhan, I can't let you go that easily. What did hold on. What did Abdullah Ibrahim teach you about the cosmos?
No, we talk about the stars because when we understood, we knew that I recorded an album called the Supernova.
Yeah.
Supernova. I said, no, I was learning about human beings, we come from, and the cosmos, because I was fascinated by the stars. What are they? And we would continue talking about it. He says, those things, they emit such sound. And if you can hold off, and he would say, the music that you make, and he would say, if I put you on the moon, you wouldn't be able to play your piano because I wouldn't hear it. There's no atmosphere. He would talk things like that. And he says the importance of music is because it's rhythm and it's waves. They travel. And sometimes when you play that piano, you think it's head only. No, it travels through space. That was the kind of thing that we would talk about.
Oh, that's absolutely fascinating. Do you believe we're alone in the world?
Yes.
One day we must have a fight about that off air. All right, very quickly, first word that comes to mind, classic jams or new discoveries?
Classic jams.
Pizza or tacos?
Tacos.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Night owl or early bird?
Early bird.
Mentoring or spotlight?
Mentoring.
Outdoor or indoor performance?
Indoor performance.
Live performance or pre-recorded?
Live.
Studio production or live performance?
You got me there.
We'll have to leave it there. We'll also get you on the 5th of July, Don Laga, live at the Basement. New music, some of the old music. You can get your tickets from Quicket. The doors open at 5 o'clock. The performance will start promptly at 7. Always a pleasure to chat to you. Have a fantastic performance, and let's hope we'll want more and more and more and more of the great Don Laga.
702.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
And on that note, we'll leave it because it's 9 o'clock and the Clement Manyatela show starts now.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The family of Crime Intelligence Senior Officer Firoz Khan says those responsible for his shooting must pay. Khan was attacked near his home in Houghton last night. The circumstances surrounding the shooting remain unclear, but EWN understands that a white Mercedes believed to have been carrying the shooters was involved. Alfara Mushwana was at the scene just an hour after the shooting.
A quiet suburb of Houghton was shaken by the sound of gunshots late last night after Crime Intelligence Senior Officer Firoz Khan was